Okay, so we are back. Episode 4 for Captain America 4 of the podcast.
Perfect.
Yeah, intros. We are web spotters. We talk about comic book movies and news related to that. My name is Nathan Thomas. I am once again joined by my lovely co-host Leon. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good. It's been a big week again. This episode we're going to talk about the Super Bowl trailers. We're going to talk about Captain America 4. Has the MCU still got it? We've got 3 episodes of Spider-Man and 1 episode of Invincible to talk about, and we're going to try to get it in 1 hour and a half, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah.
No
Because it's also a
promises.
bit late. We're a bit
We
late.
apologize. We had to watch the movie to review
Yeah,
it.
pretty good excuse, I think, this time.
You
But
had to watch it. Yeah. So, right off the bat, Leon, Super Bowl happened. Question: have you ever watched the Super Bowl? Like,
the entire thing.
yeah,
No, I'm not a sports guy, so I don't. I mean, shocker. But I don't. Yeah, I've never watched the full Super Bowl thing. I only watch the halftime show and then the trailers that I care about, which is a lot of people, thankfully. But yeah, the halftime show, Kendrick Lamar, was amazing. It's not
yeah.
relevant to this podcast what we talk about, but amazing show, and Drake got ruined in front of the whole world, which is hilarious.
Violated
Regardless,
aggressively. Yeah,
yeah,
violated online. Same. I have never watched any Super Bowl entertainment apart from the trailers and sometimes the show that takes place.
I forget that they even play football for it.
Me too. I
I forget
mean,
that's what the Super Bowl is.
look at us. I mean, come on. Of course we do. Yeah. Anyway,
we
Super Bowl
we're
trailers.
yeah,
Uh, let's kick it off with the best one, which is the Lilo and Stitch Super Bowl ad.
yeah. The 30-second long first look thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. It reminded me of what they did with the original Lilo and Stitch, where like they played clips or trailers of other Disney movies, and then they just put Stitch in there.
He was
Uh,
an agent of chaos. Yeah.
exactly, yeah, like running around in the Beauty and the Beast dance scene and all these other things.
Yeah.
This is pretty similar to that, except they just did it with like a real world, like they just like he's on the actual pitch instead of doing it with the live action remakes they've actually already been making, which
Right. To be fair, doing it with the live action remakes would have been quite cool.
yeah, and it'd be like, oh, this is why we made those movies.
Yeah.
Because to this day, we still don't know why these exist.
To
Other
this
than money.
day. Lilo and Stitch. You see, the design is kind of interesting. Obviously, in animation, it's more plausible that he's a dog, but I mean, he definitely looks like a blue alien. But I guess we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I didn't buy it as a kid either. I didn't. He never looked like a dog to me. Like, I think they
Yeah.
were blind. I think you just gotta have all the characters in the movie like say that like, oh, it's a dog, and then like half through the movie, they all put their glasses on like simultaneously, and they go, oh, that's not a dog. And for the rest of the movie, they just wear glasses, and that explains why they're all, I don't know, retarded at the beginning.
Yeah, all
Yeah,
retarded. Yeah, this
yeah,
talking dog.
yeah,
um,
definitely.
that's what I got to say about Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah,
But
once again,
we
why they're making this, but they're
okay.
gonna make it. There's
Question:
nothing we can do anymore about this.
is there any live action remake that you would actually want to see?
No, not really, except maybe The Incredibles, but
Oh,
like
okay. I know the
that's not.
type of man you are.
But no, wait.
I know why you want to see The Incredibles.
But even so, even then I think a live action Incredibles would just be worse than the actual Incredibles anyway.
Yeah.
So I just don't see the point in any of these.
Um, maybe Ratatouille would be fun, but then that's a rat cooking.
Yeah, that's just gross. I don't want to see that.
That's just gross. But speaking of live action remakes. Smooth segue. How to Train Your Dragon got a full trailer. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, the trailer, like, if it's for a movie I've never seen before, then it's like, oh, okay, this is like a nice trailer for like a cool kids like oriented film,
Yeah.
coming of age movie thing.
Uh huh.
I wouldn't think much of it. As a kid, I think, yo, damn, it's got dragons in it. That's pretty fucking cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
But other than that, I wouldn't think much of it. And now, because I know it's about how to Train Your Dragon, which is like an amazing movie, which also,
Peak fiction.
you know, if I just watched a trailer for the animated movie and didn't know anything about it, I'd probably think the exact same thing. Like, oh, it's just another kids coming of age movie. You wouldn't think nothing of it. But now this has like a reputation to live up to. It's got something to like try and aim for quality wise. And the director, I think he has a comment. I saw a quote saying like, we used the animated movie like a screen test for this one. So they just are trying to improve on what they did on the animated one, because apparently they were pretty rushed, and they just kind of like they rushed that movie together, and then it just happened to be good. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, now with hindsight, how could we make it better? But yeah, I mean, like, isn't that also? I mean, I guess this one is trying that more than the other. The other live action remakes are like, let's do it again, but different. Let's remake it. Let's reinterpret it.
That's an interesting question. In terms of live action remakes, do you want it to be the same, or do you want them to make changes? What's the benefit of a live action remake?
You would want it to like take advantage of the medium it's in, which is live action. But at the same time, then the issue is, what can live action do that animation can't anyway?
Yeah.
And what does animation
just
do
like
better?
human connection?
Yeah.
I don't know anything else that it could necessarily do.
Yeah. I can't think of what live action does better than animation other than just make it feel real.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, the animation in the first How to Train Your Dragon is pretty interesting. In terms of just character designs, they all look kind of freaky. It's always like watching the first Shrek. Like, I always put that in the first category.
Everyone's a little exaggerated.
But
like,
2 and 3 look beautiful. 2 and 3 look fantastic.
Yeah, I remember I watched the How to Train Your Dragon show on Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was. How to Train Your Dragon something.
Dragon's Age or something like that. I don't know.
How to keep training your dragon. I don't know. Like, but yeah, I really enjoyed that show. And the movies are great. So
yeah,
this movie's got a lot to live up to, especially if they're exactly saying, unlike those other ones, which are reinterpretations, this is just a redo. Let's just do it again, but better. Like, they've actually said that, and it's obvious from the trailers. There's lots of, like, even some of the shots.
That's the thing. Nothing is jumping out at me and thinking, and it makes me think, oh, you know, I don't like that. Everything, it looks like How to Train Your Dragon. In terms of the trailer, there's the line of Stoic saying how they've killed hundreds of us, and Hiccup says, we've killed thousands of them.
Yeah.
In this line delivery, it sounds like Hiccup's more angry instead of like rational. Obviously, it's a different voice, and I don't know. The different line delivery makes me get a different read on what's being said.
Yeah.
So hopefully, because that's a really important fucking scene in that movie, so hopefully they get that right. Characters look pretty decent. Toothless looks great. But
yeah,
also,
Toothless looks like straight from the movie.
He's the best one. Yeah. Do you think that children... Is there the possibility that children are going to be afraid of the dragons in this movie?
I wonder. I mean, Toothless, they've kept like the exact same design, so I don't see. You know, he looks cute and everything. You know, like Toothless does.
Yeah.
They even toned down what is meant to be like him before he warms up to
Hiccup.
That's his fucking name, Hiccup. But before, like, when his eyes are all like super, his pupils are super thin, and he's like fucking evil looking, and like he's gonna kill him. And then he warms up to him, but here he looks soft and warmed up pretty early on. Maybe that was just because they thought kids found it too scary the
Well,
original
that's
way in
something that
live
I
action.
think that does change when it is live action because there is a element of because I remember when I watched Jurassic Park as a kid
Yeah,
and the scene in the kitchen like that scared me. Obviously, I was a child, but like there's just something different when there's like a dinosaur coming at you or like dragons flying at you and stuff. I'd be scared as a kid.
yeah. So, and the other dragons, they've made them look more like normal dragony
Yeah,
as
that's
opposed
what I'm
to
thinking.
stylized movie dragons.
Yeah,
Toothless is the only one that looks like his animated self.
yeah,
The others kind of look like generic dragons. So
yeah.
interesting approach with that.
The one thing that does like I'm watching this trailer and I'm like, yeah, I'm watching How to Train a Dragon live action, but as soon as I hear John Powell's theme, it gets me a little bit excited. Genuinely,
Yeah, because now it's like,
okay,
damn, I
fuck.
might actually be
Now you
watching.
got me.
Now I might actually be watching How to Train a Dragon, the actual
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. That score, the first flight score in that movie, is just so beautiful. And I'm not gonna lie, if I'm watching that movie in cinema and I'm hearing the theme and they're flying on Toothless, I would shed a tear, a manly tear, because damn,
It's enough to make a grown man cry.
for real, yeah. Um, but I guess we'll see what happens with
Yeah.
that. Um, moving on to some action movies, we've got Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning. So, from what I understand, you've not seen
Not
one.
seen a single one.
Okay.
Uh,
So,
but
how did you feel watching
this
this trailer?
Well, yeah, the Super Bowl trailer clearly had a lot of clips from older ones, like
Yeah.
probably all of them, I assume.
There's like
And it's like
references to
trying to
all of
be
the.
nostalgic, trying to be
Yeah.
like, this is the last one, reminisce on everything up until this moment, and I'm like, well, I guess I got a lot of catching up to do. It was like
Is
what,
this
8 of
how
these?
a normal person felt watching the Endgame trailer?
Probably, yeah. They're just like, I guess a lot of stuff has happened. I guess I'm meant to care about this, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I'm someone who watched all of the Mission Impossible movies, what, 2 years ago? And I think that the Mission Impossible franchise succeeds in a way that the Fast and Furious franchise doesn't. In terms of how it changes over time, um, and it has like a different feel and tone every movie, but yet still keeps its own identity. I think that the Mission Impossible franchise does it in such a better way. In terms of like how Mission Impossible 1 is kind of this like spy thriller, and then 2 is this really stylized and kind of wacky film, and then 3 is kind of like a generic action movie. It's the first trilogy, it's the weirdest trilogy I've ever watched, and yet somehow it works. But then from like I think Ghost Protocol onwards, it's more of what dumb stupid thing is Tom Cruise gonna do? How is he
What's
gonna
the
kill
next?
himself on screen?
What's the next big stunt that
Yeah,
he somehow did in real life?
exactly. And I think that like I say what you want about Tom Cruise, his dedication to like cinema and these movies specifically is really impressive. Dedication is the word. Um, so I don't really have much nostalgia for these movies, but I get like I am excited for this one. Like I watched the last one that came out. What was it called again? Reckoning? Some I don't know the one
God,
before this.
Dead Reckoning or some shit?
Yeah, Dead Reckoning. I watched that one first. That was the first Mission Impossible I've ever
Oh my
watched. And
days.
again, it was kind of like, damn, there's a lot going on. But shit, I was invested. I was like, I want to see what's going to happen next. Um, so yeah, we should definitely review the past movies, and I am genuinely excited for this one. It looks like a real movie. Tom Cruise is so fucking old. How is he still running? This guy would never stop running. I'm assuming that he's fucking like hanging out that biplane for real.
It's got to be, yeah.
Probably,
Otherwise, it's not a Mission Impossible movie.
yeah. But I am like, this looks like a proper movie, you know, and it's the last one, so anything can happen. All the old
Yeah.
characters are back. Haley Atwell's in it still, so that's pretty good.
Mm.
So yeah, I'm excited. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
because like that's something where like it looks like a movie thing is something I can attribute to Top Gun Maverick, which I
Yeah,
watched. I haven't seen the original Top Gun, but I watched Top Gun Maverick in cinemas, and that was an experience. I was like, that was a movie, and it
yeah,
was so
yeah.
good as well. Like
Uh-huh.
everything about it, sound design, visuals, the acting, the story, everything was so good. Even though I didn't have attachment to the characters for all the nostalgic parts, I could still imagine like, damn, this probably hits hard for a lot of people because this is
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
This is good stuff.
You know, a movie is good when like it's good as a standalone, but also like with nostalgia behind it, people are probably like going crazy. Because like
Yeah,
I watched Dead Reckoning in cinema, and you know the scene where it was marketed all around this. Tom Cruise drives a motorcycle off a cliff and then
yeah,
like jumps off and has a parachute, whatever. That
and he
scene
did it in
in
real life somehow.
cinema, pardon?
And he did it in real life somehow.
Yeah, like 8 times. That scene in cinema, like I was on the edge of my seat. It was like just that silence that followed as soon as he drove off. Everyone was like, "Shit, man, he
he,
did
he
it."
actually fucking did it.
Yeah, he is Mission Impossible, bro. So yeah, awesome. Also, moving on to Marvel, we have the Thunderbolts trailer. This is something that we can both talk about.
Yeah,
Yay! How's that looking for you?
yeah. This is another trailer that's proving that this film looks a lot of fun,
Yeah,
and like we're gonna have a good time with this one, I think.
yeah.
Um, and Marvel's had some I think recently some good swings, and it's doing well recently. Um, Not to talk about the movie we just watched, Captain America 4. We'll get onto that later.
Yeah.
But I'm hopeful for this Thunderbolts movie, and yeah, it's got some cool stuff in it, and like we're seeing more um, about the plot now. Like we see Bucky, um, he's like in Congress or something, or trying to be in Congress in this
Yeah.
movie, and he's the one who rounds up the Thunderbolts for this team, for
How do
this
you feel
mission. Sorry,
about Bucky being comfortable enough to run his own team?
I think that's it's a really good like development for him now because
Yeah.
there's a lot of people who wanted him to be Captain America. Uh,
I'm not gonna lie. I think that Captain. I am one of those people that think Bucky would be the better Captain America, or at least he deserves to be Captain America more than Sam. Or it's more of a like. I feel like that was something that was foreshadowed the most. But I am happy with it being Sam. But
yeah,
in terms of
uh,
him running his own team, what I always forget is Bucky was a sergeant in World War Two.
yeah, exactly.
He
Like
he's got experience, like a
he
hundred
knows what
years
he's
of it. Yeah,
yeah, he's been solo for a good while since then,
yeah,
but he can definitely pull this off. And it's interesting because now it ties together the scene that we saw in the other trailer where he's chasing them down, and
yeah,
then we're wondering what the hell is happening here. So now it's like he's chased them to round them up, and
yeah.
then go, yeah, we gotta stop whatever the fuck.
Just to flex on them as well.
And also, we already knew this, but Taskmaster is so fucking dead, and they don't even care. They don't even care to
They
hide
didn't
it.
even introduce
It
her. Like,
like it's so funny because like there's that scene at the end where like Alexi's like, "We are the Thunderbolts," and they're all there and they're doing the pep talk and everything, and Taskmaster's nowhere to be found. They didn't even fake one in like they always do.
Yelena finished the job. Yelena finished Black Widow's job and put
Yeah,
another bomb in her
literally.
fucking head.
Like
Like,
they didn't even bother pretending that she's gonna survive this long.
yeah.
They just are keeping her up because, like, yeah, she's dead. We know she's dead. Let's just get her. In the next trailer, we're gonna see her die. I'm sure of it. At this point, we're just gonna show
Yeah.
it. The first 10 minutes of the movie, have it like when we release that on IGN, it's gonna be Taskmaster dying. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and
So
then
there's the line that they say the Avengers aren't coming. What's Leon? I'm trying to understand where are the Avengers and like where do they stand right now?
so the Sokovia Accords are apparently still in place.
Yeah.
Uh, so the Avengers aren't allowed technically to team up and like do things on their own everyone's a
Yeah.
vigilante now, technically, I guess.
Dude, the Avengers mansion or the headquarters get so after Thanos destroyed it,
Yeah.
do you think that it got rebuilt?
No. I
Okay.
assume it's still just rubble. Or maybe it's like maybe they built like a statue there or some shit or whatever. Like
To
we're
Iron
probably
Man
gonna
or
go
some
back
shit,
up. Yeah,
actually. Yeah.
yeah. We're gonna go back and see like a big memorial and it's like to the heroes we lost, and it's gonna be Iron Man, Black Widow, and a bunch of others, no names that died in the Endgame battle.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and like all the Wakandans as well. In Infinity War. So I assume, yeah, the Avengers just have never teamed back up again. Everyone's always been separate. We've always got these movies separately. Thor's off doing his own thing.
How do
Bruce
you
is on
feel
an
about that?
island doing fuck all, and so on and so on. I guess I don't mind the idea that the Avengers have disbanded, but it's always just seems like a weird. It feels weird that like they both say it often, and then it both feels like it's happening and not happening at the same time. Every time they say the Avengers are gone, I don't feel like they're gone. But then when you think about it, they have been gone.
They haven't fucking showed up. There's
They
no
haven't been
team.
back, but it
Yeah.
hasn't felt like they've been gone. Because even in the first few phases, when the Avengers were together, they weren't always active all the time. Like phase two, they're nowhere to be found. They're all separated. And then
Yeah.
Avengers 2, they're like, yeah, we've been together this entire damn time. We've been doing
Yeah.
missions all the fucking time. And
We're all
then
just
now,
best pals. We're all
yeah.
buddies now. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it's. I guess that's why it's never felt like they've been gone because yeah, we're getting solo projects, but we've always gotten solo projects. It's never
Yeah.
felt different. Um, but yeah, like it has been a few years since we've seen an Avengers movie, and a few in-universe years since they've done anything together as the Avengers. So yeah, they are
So
gone,
long.
which is interesting. Since a lot of those heroes that could be the Avengers are still around, they just
And we've got new heroes popping up as well, and Moon
yeah,
Knight, Miss Marvel, and everything. So
just no one's organizing them.
yeah.
So yeah,
Maybe we'll touch up on that a bit later down
yeah,
on the episode as well.
yeah.
But in terms
But
of
yeah,
the Marvel universe, it's very interesting.
yeah. So
For
we've also got
Thunderbolts, we'll see.
the Sentry in this trailer. We actually
Yeah,
see a bit of him. Like we saw Bob in the previous trailer, but he was just Bob. Like we don't know. Like we knew he was Sentry, but like in the trailer doesn't tell you that. Now we know he is, and we see him as the Void, which is his like dark manifest, like this force that has like latched onto him when he became a Sentry in the
yeah,
comics, and like his dark manifestation or some shit. It reminds me kind of like the Phoenix Force or whatever, on Jean Grey, but you know, different. But yeah, we see him here. He's all black. He's silhouetted, and he's just murking people, just turning people to shadows. It's
doesn't give
like
a fuck, bro.
imagine
Yeah,
you're just living in New York, and you like. I saw this meme. It was like you've survived an alien invasion, and two alien invasions. Sorry,
yeah,
and then you just get murked into a ashy shadow like the next day. It's like, damn, you were snapped. You came back to life.
yeah.
And
You turn into dust.
you've gone through all this shit, and all for nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
I've got some points. So Yelena, is she enhanced or is she not? I
No.
didn't think she was. Cool. Just wanted to clarify that. Also, so I rewatched all of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier in preparation for Captain America 4. Um, the something that I want to know is where do the new breed of super soldiers stand? Because John Walker was in peak human health before he took the serum.
Mm-hmm.
So you could argue that he's probably stronger than Steve and Bucky. Um, just how good are Red Guardian? How good are John Walker in comparison to Bucky?
Good point. Because they make that kind of like little joke in the previous trailer. They're like, "Oh, what kind of super soldier team have you got?" Like, "Oh, you know, the regular kind." Like, "Oh, okay, good, good."
Yeah,
So yeah, there are all these different strains. I have to assume the Russian one is just weaker, because all of them, other than the most newest one, all of them have just been imitating the original, which was like
yeah,
a lightning in the bottle moment. So the Russian one isn't as good. The Isaiah Bradley one probably isn't as good.
Yeah.
But then we got to Falcon Winter Soldier. That one is like it's like as strong, I guess, but without any like it's more subtle.
With
You
the
don't see they
mental
don't
stuff.
buff up and everything, and
Yeah.
no, like
Carly
all,
wasn't jacked, like
yeah,
after she took it.
like somehow still crazy strong.
Yeah.
Like Steve was like jacked, but he was stronger than the muscles he had on his
And
body.
also he got like he can't get drunk and he can't he's got better memory and like artistic skills and stuff. I think Steve got perks with the super soldier serum where I'm not sure if any other version does.
Yeah, it's unclear on that front because obviously, like Steve being able to throw the shield and it bounces around all epically, that's
Yeah.
something that's like it like attributed to the serum as well. Um, and Bucky. Well, then again, Sam can do it, and he doesn't have a serum, so maybe it's not as much of a serum as we thought.
No. I always got the impression that Bucky was like he got a weaker serum, but the arm adds up for gives him superhuman strength at least.
Yeah,
And that's how they're equal in Captain America: The Winter Soldier 2014. Um, yeah, no, it's just interesting to think about. I wish we got like a in-universe like power scaling because I would love to know. Because it really upsets me that John Walker's able to like go toe to toe with um, Winter Soldier and Falcon, and there's somehow an even fight. Even though we've seen Bucky fight the real Captain America and pretty much be on the winning side for most of that fight. I guess that Bucky's trying not to kill anyone, and maybe that's why. Like his fighting style's changed, but yeah, I don't know, just interesting.
yeah, that is a big factor. Like when Cap fought Bucky, Cap, isn't trying to kill this guy. Winter Soldier is a man on a fucking mission. He's there to
Yeah,
kill
A
anyone
to
in his
B,
way.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And John Walker, he was in a lost state. At this point, he's ready to kill Bucky if he has to.
Yeah,
But Bucky doesn't want to kill him because, that's heat on his neck now.
he just wants the shield back.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's just not going to murder this guy for no reason. But yeah, so that is a big factor as well. So it's really hard to tell who's. I mean, power scaling in the Marvel universe is all over the place. You never know who's stronger than who at any point.
Yeah.
Like, you've got Thor and Hulk. You can never tell who's strong between them two because every time they fight, it's a different result. And then you got like in What If, where it's the universe where what if Thor and Loki were like yeah, if they were good friends and if Loki wasn't adopted or whatever, then Thor is somehow as strong as Captain Marvel in binary form in that universe.
Yeah.
Even though the only change is if he's got a brother or not. But I guess also he's stronger, or it just doesn't fucking matter. Everyone's just as strong as they need to be.
Yeah,
So,
it's quite annoying.
Yeah.
Because I liked the display that Spider-Man's able. Well, in Civil War, Bucky is just fucking murking through everyone in the Avengers compound, and then later on in that movie, Captain America, Spider-Man just straight up catches Bucky's punch with ease,
like nothing.
Yeah, and then that reminds you subtly that oh yeah, I forgot Spider-Man is super fucking strong.
He is crazy strong,
yeah.
But then he loses to Cap later on in the same movie, and then also,
and then you could say maybe that's an experience-based thing, but
true. But then also in Homecoming, he like pulls the ferry together, and he's like, okay, so he's that strong, and like someone calculated that, some nerd out there figured out that feat is apparently more impressive
than the
trained feat that Spider-Man 2 had, which is crazy. But if it is more impressive, then you go to
No Way Home,
where Green Goblin murders the shit out of Holland Spider-Man. He just wrecks face the entire time. And we know that in Spider-Man 2, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is stronger than he was in the first one. Doc Ock is apparently a more formidable foe than Green Goblin, according to promo material around that time. I looked a lot into the power scaling of the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
And so Green Goblin stronger Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man.
That's also what Sam Raimi said as well, I think.
He just says stronger, faster, better. It's just statements like that all the time when you're promoting the next movie. But even still, that has weight now. So it's like Green Goblin is stronger than Spider-Man. Spider-Man with the Rage Boost is stronger than Green Goblin. Then 2 years later, or however long Spider-Man 2 is, boom, now he's just stronger at base level. Then Doc Ock comes in and he's stronger than that somehow. And then Tom Holland's meant to be stronger than all of that, and then weaker than Green Goblin.
Gets his ass whooped, bro. And that's even a rage-filled, bloodthirsty Spider-Man going toe-to-toe with Green Goblin. And he's still not as strong. It's insane.
Well, I'd say when he was bloodthirsty, it was at the very end, where he was wrecking his ass. But in that first fight, he was just like, I wouldn't say he was bloodthirsty, he was just like, he was just trying to win the fight. But he got murked.
At the end of that movie, because I think of bloodthirsty Tobey Maguire beat the Goblin out of him in Spider-Man 1.
Yeah.
Whereas Tom Holland Spider-Man is really wailing at him, and Green Goblin's not changing back.
Yeah.
He's encouraging it.
Yeah. He was happy to die, I guess.
He was
with Toby, he was scared to die. He's like, please stop.
Oh my god.
But maybe it's also because in that universe he has more to lose. Whereas now he knows he's in another world. He's like, if I die, who cares? I don't got a company to go back to. Yeah. Let me just, if I win this fight, I win. If I don't win this fight, then I win morally. Boom, got his ass. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, power scaling does make sense in Marvel. So yeah, that's that.
But yeah, do you have anything else to say on Thunderbolts trailer?
No, but I'm just really excited. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Sentry is wearing a costume. I didn't see when he's holding Bucky and he throws him out the window or whatever. We see his arm. He's got a very MCU looking type outfit, which I assume the rest will also be. I mean, it's probably going to be over designed to shit, but at least he's not just wearing that fucking raggedy hospital gown the entire time.
Yeah. One thing that I also want to add, last point, is you see a shot of Bucky's arm just flying off when they're all being attacked.
Mm.
I'm really starting to dislike this metal arm, Leon, because Bucky had that I don't know, silver arm for so long, and it fell off of him once when Iron Man used his fucking repulsor cannon,
His unibeam, he just blasted it off.
But this Wakandan vibranium arm has just caused him nothing but trouble ever since. Because, in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I'm, keeping an eye on it, and the Wakandans can disable him. You know what? Fine. I could live with that. But in the fight with John Walker and Falcon, fucking John Walker punches Bucky, and Bucky falls into a metal beam, and his arm is malfunctioning. It's spazzing out, and that's why he's out of the fight for a solid 3 minutes or so. You're telling me that his Wakandan vibranium arm is causing him problems?
Needed a software update, probably. I don't know, man.
Bro, and now we're seeing it fall off again in this new movie trailer.
Well, in this one, Sentry rips it off. So
I get it, but
he's like the Superman of Marvel. I can accept that.
Bucky's getting a really tough time,
Yeah.
It just sucks. It just sucks, man. Yeah, it just makes me laugh. But speaking of Marvel, we had a new Marvel movie this week. Captain America 4, Brave New World.
And it's been ages since a Marvel movie. Deadpool Wolverine feels
it's been so long.
So long ago.
Yeah. We're going to be breaking this down into non-spoilers and then spoilers. But just to emphasize, if you don't want to know anything about this movie, probably don't listen to this.
Skip to the
probably going to just fire spoilers right away. Yeah.
Spoilers, Captain America dies.
So, we said that. Captain America 4, how did you find it?
I don't know.
Tell me
what everyone is smoking. This is a good movie.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says. I enjoyed this movie the entire time, essentially.
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm not going to say it's the best Marvel movie of recent times or anything. I wouldn't even say it's better than Winter Soldier or Civil War. It's better than the first Captain America to me.
Ouch.
But I've always been a kind of a hater on that.
Just a hater on that movie. That brilliant, fantastic fucking movie.
It's mid. It's just okay. But this one's good. this is a good film. It's a 7 out of 10 at least.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Well, tell me about the plot.
okay,
What
so
was the story?
we've got President Ross. He has now newly been elected, and he's got this peace treaty, or no, this like treaty for adamantium. He wants to try and get working because he wants everyone around the world, all the big countries, to have adamantium fairly. So because otherwise, it's just like one country's gonna hoard it, and then they're fucked. And in his mind,
Yeah.
if only one of them is gonna do it, then it should be America. But ideally, he does want everyone to have it.
Yeah.
That was more of a rage temper tantrum he was having later when he was under stress. But for his intentions are good. And there's a big part about this film about how he's changed since his old days. We even get to see Harrison Ford with the mustache and the the same hairstyle that William Hurt had as well in those movies. Remember he used to have anger problems. They were just showing him going solo. Classic Harrison Ford.
Yeah,
I think they were just
classic.
filming Harrison Ford. To be honest, he wasn't in character.
Someone took away his weed, and then he just went crazy.
They forced him in the mustache and hairstyle, and they just
Someone told him that he couldn't fly his plane anymore, and he just went crazy.
He lost his mind. But yeah, and he's trying to reconnect with his daughter Betty, who we also haven't seen since Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
And she's been airing him for 20 years.
Story of my life.
Well, 15, 16, damn, bro. 16 years since Incredible Hulk. Because this is 2025 in universe as well. And Incredible Hulk was 2008. 2011 in universe.
Yeah, right.
It's around Iron Man 2 time. Or 2009, actually. I remember the time was really weird with that Phase 1 era. But yeah, around there. So it's 15 years, roughly. Yeah. So she's, ever since he set the army on the Hulk, she's aired him for that long, which is pretty insane.
Even after half the universe died, do you think that's worth a call?
Yeah, apparently not. Yeah, crazy.
Remembered this. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Who knows? And then, and because of all this, he has. We've got the Serpent Society in this movie, but it's just one guy.
Society is generous, isn't it?
Yeah, the comics, they're like an army of they're like a group of snake-themed supervillains.
It's like the Lizard League in Invincible.
It's exactly like the Lizard League in Invincible, except it's one dude and he has nothing to do with snakes.
I didn't see one snake.
He has a bit of an army.
0 out of 10.
they're all gone by the end. It ends up being just him near the middle of the movie. At the beginning, he does have a crew, but again, they are not snake people or snake-themed people. Sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really kind of boring how much they militarized that, and it's Giancarlo Esposito who was wasted in this movie, man. This is one of those things I did like.
We could touch up on that in a bit, but that's a disappointment for me in this movie.
Yeah. And then what else? Plot.
Captain America is dealing with being Captain America, but he's fully into it now. He's on board. He's trying to make amends with Isaiah Bradley and do right by him. And he's also adjusting to having a new Falcon. So that's pretty cool as well. Yeah,
what's his name? Joaquin, I think. He was in the Falcon Winter Soldier show. Yeah. And now he has been promoted to Falcon. He obviously doesn't get to do this often. He really has to kind of
talk Sam into it. Really
kind of beg him, kind of not into being able to put the suit on. He's like, oh no, they're going away with the adamantium. Someone you can't be in two places at once. What you're doing, fine. You can go get them. He's like, yes, let's go. But yeah, and that is an important point we'll bring up in the spoiler section.
So I guess the movie really revolves around certain twists and the adamantium problem between the different countries. So all in all, I really like the plot of the story. There's also a new character of Ruth. Ruth, she's in this movie as well.
Doing fuck all, by the way.
Yeah.
This film got a lot of flack for the casting of her, because the character is Sabra, who is I think we spoke on this in one of the episodes already.
Yeah.
But she's basically the Israeli Captain America, and her only notable storyline is being unable to see a Palestinian child as a human life, and Hulk has to teach her empathy. Um,
Yeah.
and then she's in this movie. She's not a superhero. She does have a costume at one point for 5 minutes for no reason, um,
Found that a
which,
bit
which
weird.
which was weird. But in this movie, she's an ex-Black Widow, which is not her origin in the comics. So, and she's also the president's like secretary of like defense or whatever, or something of security. I forgot what it was. But neither of those roles are her character in the comics. So why is she this character? Why did they not name her anything else? Why is she Ruth Sabra or whatever the fuck?
I wish I knew.
And they
Honestly.
cast someone from Israel who is part of the IDF, I think, if I remember correctly. And this was all a big controversy for the movie. What
Yeah.
was the point? Was it worth it? Like for a nothing character who could have been any random agent?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Really weird. But yeah, she doesn't. She like does a lot in the movie, but she doesn't do anything like special or noteworthy. She could literally
I
be
mean, I
any
forgot
agent.
about until just now.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a weird inclusion, I guess.
Yeah.
But and then we've got the only other negative I can think of is to do with the villain, who I don't know. Do we bring him up
Well,
in this section?
um, we can
Because
do.
he's
Okay,
not in the
so
trailers much.
I
If
will
that's the case.
say that I got some points. So one, I think financially, this movie is actually doing pretty decently. I think it made like $100 million over the weekend.
Yeah, it's already
So
made its budget back
yeah, Marvel.
on the first
I
day.
don't think that Marvel have lost it. But I think I've got some theories into why maybe it's not being received as well. So what I think has happened here is three things, Leon. I think that so with franchises, you think that all of their money comes from the fans, okay? But that is not true.
Not even
a,
a little.
a lot of the money actually comes from just the casual viewer, the casual enjoyer. And you know, Leon and I, we're diehard fans of Marvel and whatever, but I mean, we're not making $100 million, and it's about getting bums in seats. And I
Yeah.
think that maybe Disney Plus has actually affected this show, because this movie, because not everyone probably watched The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So if you went from Endgame to then watching this, and having Isaiah Bradley having such a big role in this movie,
And you're like, who the hell is this guy?
who the fuck is this guy? Exactly. So
Who's this new
maybe,
Falcon guy? What the fuck's
yeah,
going on?
exactly. There's new characters who are introduced in the show, who never showed up before. Maybe that's why people are like a bit confused, or they think, "Oh, damn! Now I have to go back and rewatch all of this. This isn't what Marvel used to be." Not to mention that again, they have to bring it up. Anthony Mackie is black. This is a black Captain America. There's gonna be the woke police. So then you got people who are like, "Oh man, you know, fuck this. This isn't my Chris Evans. This isn't how I want my Captain America to be." So you got that. But then also, Leon, you've got this movie is surprisingly more of a spiritual successor to Incredible Hulk 2008 and Eternals 2023, I think, or 2022.
Two.
Eternals wasn't the highest rated Marvel movie. I don't think many people saw that. Maybe people don't even know that there's a celestial sticking out of the earth by this point. No one brings it up in any of the other movies.
Yeah.
So if you miss that one, you're also like, wait. So you've got all these new characters. You've got this alien sticking out of the earth. What's happened here? You know? And not to mention, I don't think everyone knows that Incredible Hulk is actually in the main MCU timeline.
Yeah, the first like 5 minutes of this movie works overtime to remind you.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
Like,
Because Mark Ruffalo
literally.
didn't play the Hulk in that movie.
Yeah.
Different character design. Genuinely, I don't think people. You do have people who bitch about how the Hulk used to be so cool, and they always play clips from that movie.
Ugh.
But I don't think it's like popular. So I think that those are like the four reasons in why people are shitting on this movie.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if you have
it's
anything else, any other things to
I
add
can't
on.
think of anything else because like it was just randomly getting review bombed, and then everyone goes to see it and they're like, oh, it's not that bad at all. Well,
No, it's
why is everyone
not.
shit talking it?
But then again,
Um,
we've seen and lived and breathed like so many of these properties. Maybe just the casual people are not fucking with it because of that. But then again, I think that this is an attempt for Marvel to say, you know, oh look, we do want to rebuild the Avengers. You know, that's something that's a plot in this movie. There's the interconnected universe. Look, we're dealing with the things from the Celestials, from the Eternals. You know,
yeah, we're
like
tying up
we're
loose
tying in
threads.
Incredible Hulk. You know, I think that it's a really good attempt of bringing everything back together.
Yeah,
And maybe people are missing this for some reason. But why? Why, Leon?
I don't understand
I
because
don't
yeah,
know.
this film's a good time.
It's a
Like
good movie.
minor spoiler. Sam Wilson rides a missile at one point. I
And
mean,
it's so cool.
that's just awesome. Like it's
Okay,
the coolest thing
to,
ever.
to be fair, okay. Now, listeners. Maybe my opinion of this movie is a little bit biased because just before we went in, the funniest thing I
Oh
have
no.
ever seen in my entire life took place. Okay, so for reference, Leon and I we went to and saw this movie together. Okay, and we're in the queue, and you know there's like a couple people in front and whatever, and along the view fucking like countertops we're seeing all of the merch, the Captain America Brave New World merch. So there's the Captain America helmet, the new Falcon Captain America helmet, and it's a popcorn tub, and then next to it there's this fucking huge tub which is the Captain America suit, and it's got a lid which is the Captain America shield on top, which is clearly the coolest fucking one. And then closer, there's one which is the Captain America shield. It's a bit smaller, and it's got the wings on it. Okay. So Leon sees this. His eyes like light up with joy. Okay, and then he's like, "Yo, Nathan, how much is how much is Captain America?" So we go a bit closer, like in front of this guy. I'm like, we're reading the small print. We're fucking analyzing the shit. We're like, okay, so this one's like $7.99. Is this with or without popcorn? We're reading the fucking small print. The guy in front, he hasn't even paid yet. Okay, and then you know, we're still bickering. And then Leon sees the girl at the counter turn around and pick up the huge Captain America torso with the lid on top, and turns around, and Leon's like, "No, damn, limited. My options are limited."
Yeah.
So then this guy, his card hasn't even tapped the machine yet, who's in front, and then she starts wiggling it in front
Like
of Leon like a baby.
waving it like, and she's like, "That's the one you want?" And I'm just like, "Can I get the one with the wings, please?"
And then she
I've
said,
now
"Oh,
just suddenly
are you
changed my mind.
sure?"
Yeah, she was like downplaying me as much. She's like, "Do you really want that one? This one's cheaper. It's better value for your money." And I'm like, "Yeah, but that one's cooler." You know?
Here's the wings. I had to hear adult Leon say, "The one with the wings."
I was really like, I was probably not gonna buy this bucket if she said nothing, to be honest, because I was gonna be nervous to say it. I was probably gonna say, "Can I get popcorn?" And then I was gonna hesitate and then not say it. But because she had now given me the option, against my will, I just went, "Well, now I'm here. I might as well go all the way. I want the most expensive one, even though it was one of the smaller
It's
ones.
smaller.
There's less popcorn inside." And she gave me something. She was like, "So do you want the popcorn inside it, or do you want a separate bucket because it's not clean?" I'm like, well, "No, I want it inside. I'm not carrying two buckets, you know." Anyway, and
That's where
then
you draw the line.
all
Two
these,
buckets.
and then she had to put the big bucket back, and when she came back, and she struggled to fill up this one because she had to hold it at an angle and everything. And like, I started feeling really bad. I just had to say sorry, and then
You
she's like,
said,
"Do you
sorry. But you had to struggle to put the popcorn.
And then she was like, "You want anything else?" And I knew I was gonna be thirsty, but I wanted this to be over. I just said, "No, I'm good, thank you." And I paid. And then Nathan goes and goes, "Can I get one regular popcorn, please?" just the normal bucket, no wings, no nothing. I felt like a fool. Oh my days.
It was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. And then like we're walking to the fucking cinema and people are like, damn, look at that. So you know what? It was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool. Every time Sam threw that shield around, I felt very proud holding
Yeah,
it
to be
and like tapping
representing.
it,
Yeah.
rubbing it every now and then. It's pretty cool. I stand by it.
I derailed this entire podcast.
But yeah, point is, that's why we were in a really good mood before the movie because of all that. So we're a little bit
Yeah.
biased towards it.
No, but you know
But
what?
again, it
It
was
was
a good
just a good time. I think. Okay, so let's actually review this. So visually, I don't think that the movie blew me away. I think that like the CGI looked good for the most part. Obviously in the trailers there's the Red Hulk, and I think that he looks great. Falcon flying around always looks good, but then
yeah.
there was like a size problem for me. I think that like when you're on Celestial Island and there's like, you know, jet troopers and shit, I think that it just looked a bit off to me. It something which did try to capture the essence of the Winter Soldier, but there was a less grounded energy to it. Maybe I think that the action is really great. How do you like the way Anthony Mackie moves as Captain America?
As Captain America, he is a bit different to Steve in the way that he's not as fluid. He's not as like technically skilled. He doesn't move as much finesse. He's a bit more
Captain America is a brick fucking wall.
Yeah.
Like as soon as it goes past Winter Soldier, you know, like you know, he's running down the length of that boat, and he hits someone, and they are done. They're dead.
Yeah.
They're
Like you
down.
cannot stop that man.
There's
kind of like
nothing you can do. You could be Thanos, and he will still hold you back. You know,
for a
But
second or so.
Anthony
But yeah.
Mackie is Sam Wilson. He's just a guy.
Yeah. And you
He's
do
a
feel
very,
that
very
when,
good guy.
when all his gadgets and stuff are gone, he is just a guy. He is just fighting with his bare hands, trying his best, and he is good at it. He still beats that 7 foot tall guy at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Who almost
That
got
clip's
us.
online, yeah. He's still doing a really good job.
Yeah.
The way he uses the shields is great. Obviously, Sam Wilson, he's very acrobatic up until like throughout the whole MCU, he's doing flips and shit, and that's something that's translated to his Captain America fighting style with the shield. He's like fucking flipping this shit, and he like does a flip and kicks the shield, and it hits a guy. Like he's very, very good. Clearly, he's been
I like
practicing.
the action in this film. Sometimes the camera felt either a bit too close or like it was moving a bit too much.
Yeah.
Sometimes I couldn't really see what was going on, but that wasn't too often.
Yeah.
For the most part,
It
was
wasn't like a
things-
Christopher Nolan movie, like.
Exactly. No, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
For the most part, it was good. And yeah, the tricks Sam does with the shield are pretty good.
Yeah, very impressive.
Everything's looking really sick, and he's really hitting these people because he has to hit them as hard as he can, you know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're not going to go down.
Yeah.
But then then when you take into effect the gadgets he's got, his wings now have the vibranium like shockwave thing that Black Panther suit did.
Kinetic, yeah.
He can shoot little like blades off his wings that
That's
he
quite
shoots
cool.
from the Red Hulk. Red Wing, it's cooler than ever. You can now split into two, and there's
Yeah.
that moment where he's like flying away from a jet that's firing on him, and he gets Red Wing to lift the shield and block
Yeah.
the bullets for him whilst his hands are busy elsewhere. It's like, damn,
Awesome.
that's just genius. Like
Yeah.
it, all in all, Captain America Falcon Edition is cooler than Captain America. He just doesn't have the strength for it. But everything else makes up for it.
This is something that I'm thinking, because I am someone who does think that like Bucky would have been the better Captain America. But I mean, after this, I'm not too sure, because like
Yeah, think about
Falcon's
this.
really moving.
Would Bucky have lasted that long in the fight of Red Hulk? Would Steve
Nah.
have? I can't say.
Nah.
We'll save the spoilers for the end, but we can't say exactly what happened. But they can't do what Sam did. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Which is just, it's plot. I mean, that's just the way they wrote it. But I mean, yeah, he's got good upgrades. He's really the way it also highlights. I think the inclusion of having Sam being a mentor character to oh my god, what's his name? Young Falcon.
Joaquin.
Joaquin, thank you. This works as we've never seen Falcon be a leader properly before. We've seen him be a good guy, which is very Captain America like, but having him be like an actual mentor, I like that a lot. That explores a side of the character that we haven't seen before. In terms of taking responsibility for what the US did to Isaiah Bradley, is another example of this very Captain America like. I think that it really captures the spirit of what they're going for here. Um, his character development in the movie is genuinely great.
Yeah, I'm really happy with the characters in this, other than like Ruth and the villain.
Even
But
Ross had a really good.
Ross, yeah, I feel like that's one of the weaker parts of the movie is trying to get me to believe that he's changed, whilst also reminding me of what he was like. Because then the movie kind of blurs the lines a bit on which one he is right now.
Yeah.
So it's a bit, and it's a good thing to see doubt in the audience, but at the same time, it was kind of one of the linchpins of the climax is like, we have to believe he has changed.
Yeah.
And now at this point, the movie's done too good of a job making me doubt it. So,
Yeah.
but I get what the film's trying to go for, and I think it works pretty well. It was just a bit too muddy
I do
near the
think
end.
that the second act was probably the weakest one, to be fair, in my opinion. I remember saying that, I was like, okay, I think the plot slows down a little bit, and it gave me
Yeah,
enough time to actually think about what was going on, and I was like, okay. No, I don't seeing how it's bad, but like, I don't know, I was waiting for it to get really bad, and it just didn't.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
It did get slow a bit in the middle,
yeah.
but not dangerously so. I think we.
Also, in terms of villain motivations, I think maybe that's where people are a bit upset because, like, in Captain America 1, you've got the fucking Red Skull ship going down. That's the big climactic event, you know. Winter Soldier had the, pulling on your heartstrings. Captain America has to do good and save the world, and then also, like, try and redeem his friend Bucky. Civil War, it cheats because it has all the Avengers, like, it has Tony Stark in it, so obviously it's going to do well, and, like, the climactic thing is them fighting and whatnot. But in this movie, I think people aren't hating or forgot that this guy, the villain, exists. And then you have the Red Hulk thing, and I think maybe there was too little time spent with the Red Hulk, and maybe that's why it doesn't feel like there was a big payoff necessarily. I felt like there was payoff because I like previous movies from the franchise already. But maybe
Yeah,
people just don't get that.
yeah, because I do think the marketing did a bit disservice to the movie in
Yeah,
the sense of there's a lot of Red Hulk in the trailers,
yeah.
but to be honest, that is almost all the Red Hulk you get in this movie.
And I
He is,
like everything the Red Hulk put down.
yeah.
But yeah,
To be fair,
he's not in it.
having now seen the whole movie, I'm kind of glad this is the way we got him. I just
Yeah,
kind of wish the trailers didn't show him so much because now you're expecting him to be a villain you see
the main
multiple times.
villain.
You maybe
Yeah,
fight him twice or whatever. Yeah, there's only one fight with him,
there
but the
was a
build up
point
to
in
this, I
which I
think, is really
thought
good.
there was gonna be another one, but I'm glad that that wasn't the way it went.
Yeah, the film does a good job of like if you know that he's going to become Red Hulk, then there's a big tense moment in the middle of the movie where you're like, "Oh shit, it's going to happen here," and then it doesn't.
Yeah,
But like you are being blue ball, you're being cock teased for this moment, and you're
yeah,
waiting, you're waiting, you're waiting. You're like, if it happens here though, I haven't seen any of this footage in the trailers.
yeah.
This is going to be a
Exactly.
fight we
That's
haven't
what I
seen
was
before,
thinking.
and then it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But then you do finally get it, and now it's like the release comes out, like you finally get it. Red
There
Hulk's
was
here.
a good fight scene as well in terms of Falcon. He has no tech, no equipment on him, and he's really in like the back burner of this fight. And there's the whole thing of he is just a guy. He's human, and he gets stabbed, and he's still fighting like with the knife
Ah,
in
yes.
him. And I thought it was really, really fucking cool to be honest.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's just so many good things going on in this movie. Do you think that we should move to spoilers?
I think it's time, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For those for
Summary,
you who
good
haven't seen
movie.
the movie, I
Don't
would
watch.
recommend watching it.
Yeah. Definitely. I think
Yeah,
this film does a great job at winning you over the idea of Sam Wilson as Captain America,
hundred
especially by
percent.
the end. There's a lot of good moments where even just outside of the action parts, there's parts where you get to they talk whatever, and you really opens your eyes and think, you know what, Steve was right. This is the guy. This is
Yeah,
the guy.
yeah,
But yeah,
100%. So spoilers. Now that now that those guys are gone, we could talk
fucking
about
losers.
spoilers. Yeah. um, I guess my first one is Bucky Barnes made an appearance in this
Yes,
movie. Yeah,
he
I
did show up.
so we spoke about this. Well, I think last week maybe. I think that Bucky Barnes needs to be in a Captain America movie. After I just watched all of the fucking The Winter Soldier, I was like, had my heart set on him showing up. It's like, please, come on.
Yeah,
And I wasn't disappointed. He showed up. He had a nice chat. Do you think he should have stuck around?
I think it was fine.
Yeah.
Because it's clearly going to tie into Thunderbolts because obviously in the Thunderbolts trailer we see he's part of Congress or whatever, or so in the running or whatever. In
Yeah.
this one, we hear he's in the running. He's even wearing the same damn outfit and everything. So yeah,
Yeah,
like
love that.
he's clearly busy. He's a busy man now.
Yeah.
And I don't
He's
mind.
trying probably not to taint his image as well.
Yeah, exactly. You can't just be running around Winter Soldiering it up all
Punching
the
people.
time.
Yeah.
It's the same, like, you can't always expect a character to just be available to fight all the time. Like Hulk. A lot of people want Hulk in this movie. And for those if you haven't watched the movie and you're in the section, yeah, Hulk's not in this fucking movie.
There was a moment where I thought Hulk is just gonna crack Red Hulk's fucking neck. Then there's a scene where he's having a moment down, and he's just gonna be, "Oh, sorry guys."
Hey guys, I haven't seen this guy in a while. But no, like, how would Bruce Banner be involved in the political drama storyline? He's got nothing to do with that. And then by the time Red Hulk's out there, and Bruce sees that on the news, he's like, "Shit!" And he's gonna jump over, like leaping one at a time. He would not make it in time. The fight was over by then. He can't fly. He's not that fast. So there was no way for Hulk to be in this story.
So
in
when
this
was he going
story
to space? Actually, was that the last time we saw the Hulk? No,
no, he came back. He came back with his son.
Yeah, I forgot. The last time we saw
Yeah,
the
so
Hulk was
he's
the
back on
barbecue.
Earth.
Yeah,
But he's probably still on his island in Hawaii, whatever the fuck. So
he's just living it up. Yeah, he's
yeah,
chilling.
he has no involvement in this story. You would have to change this story to have Bruce Banner involved, and then to be there present for the Red Hulk part. But at that point, then you're just like rewriting this whole Captain America movie to fit Bruce Banner in, and what's the point of that?
Yeah. Well, how did you find the inclusion of the leader?
So okay, like we said, the film does a quick recap at the beginning of everything that happened in Incredible Hulk. This is General Ross. Yes, it's Harrison Ford. Now, yeah, if you don't recognize him, let's show him with a mustache and his slick back hair. Do you recognize him now? If not, let's quickly remind you who he is from that movie. Bang, 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 bang. Yes, he has a daughter, Betty Brant. We'll even show her face. So now you're going to start remembering. Boom.
Yeah.
They even show clips from the movie with Abomination versus Hulk.
In Harlem, yeah. Having a punch up.
See the Abomination. We don't get a close-up of the Hulk because then we have to show his face, and he's obviously different to Mark Ruffalo Hulk. But they show a long shot away from him. A wide shot, sorry. And then they even remind us of Samuel Stearns and how he took all the blame for all of that shit. And to be honest, it is his fault. I don't know why he's so salty about that.
It really was. He opened that door.
Sorry. Yeah,
Post.
that's something that this film tries to make you feel bad about, is that Ross pinned all of this on him and used him as a scapegoat, but he's not. He did make Blonsky Abomination.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, okay. Blonsky forced him into it, I guess, but I've seen that.
That's another thing is that people didn't love She-Hulk, and Emil Blonsky was also in She-Hulk, so we're getting a lot of Incredible Hulk lore post Endgame, and yeah, I just don't think a lot of this stuck because of those reasons I said earlier.
Yeah, but yes, Blonsky forced Stearns into it, but I've seen that, but he didn't take much. He just said give it to me. He's like, yeah, hell yeah, I'll give it to you. And then and then he got the gamma blood in his head, and he's smiling. This guy's all for it. This guy's he's loving it.
He's loving it, Leon. Yeah. He's absolutely.
He has
loving
no
it.
regrets. And then Ross is like, "Well, I'm not getting blamed for this, so It was that guy. Look at him. There's Mr. Smiley over there.
This
And
cackling maniac.
yeah. And like, no duh. He gets blamed for it. Like, it is his fault.
Yeah.
I like the Easter egg that like they never even they never even point it out, but like it's just something you have to notice. But the song he uses to hypnotize everyone, like the lyrics are like "I'm Mr. Blue," and in Incredible Hulk, when Bruce and Stearns are communicating with each other secretly on their like little private thing, Bruce's nickname is Mr. Green and Stearns' name is Mr. Blue. So
Yeah.
I like
Leon
that.
felt very smart whispering that to me in the cinema.
Yeah, I felt like Sherlock Holmes myself.
Yeah.
I
With his Captain
I know,
America
right?
shields on his lap,
Yeah. Holding
with the wings
shield
out. Yeah.
on my like lap, on my like crotch area, with the wings spread out. Yeah, I felt like a true man right there, like brains and brawn. No, anyway, but yeah, Simon Stones, he's been locked up for all this time. It's revealed that fucking Ross, when you realize like, that blood made you smarter, increased the dose, and he just like made him even smarter, and then he used him like, okay, I need you to make me president. Can you make that happen? Like, I see it in the probabilities. Yes, I can make that happen. Like, okay, make that happen for me, and then I'll let you go. And he's like, okay. And then, along the years, every, I guess, big decision Ross has made, he had Stearns doing them for him or advising him.
Maybe like the Sokovia Accords are probably because of him as well.
Exactly.
Perhaps. Yeah.
Yeah, that's ooh. Because post-credit scene, he's talking about how he can see in the probabilities. Well, there's other worlds coming, and they're gonna come here, which means he maybe even was able to see Thanos, the probability of Thanos coming somehow.
Yeah.
So maybe he planned, like he helped. He's like, yeah, if I split up the Avengers, that's gonna be funny as fuck.
That'd be funny as fuck. Yeah.
I don't see how he could see that working in a good way.
Yeah.
But yeah, he probably just thought, yeah, let me just split him up so that we all lose.
That's true, actually. That's a really good point.
Damn. So it's not just Zemo who worked on splitting them up, but it's also Stearns, all in the background, which is pretty great.
His whole layer and like that felt very Captain America: The Winter Soldier-y when
it was just like when
Zemo.
Zola.
No, Zola. Yeah, sorry, not Zemo.
And Zemo, but yeah, it's like when we walked in and Zola just plays the whole thing and then blows the whole shit up.
Yeah,
it reminded me just of that scene, just like that scene. And yeah, it's like he's been locked away this entire time, and like this is on Ross's mind for 15 years. Like every day, he's got to call his guards. Like, is he in there? Like, yeah, he's in there. Like, okay, phew. Like, and he's popping these pills to keep himself alive because he's got cancer or some shit.
That's an interesting.
Well, not cancer, but yeah, he's got some dying disease.
He's got the mind goblin.
Yeah, he's got the mind goblin. And then, Stearns figured out the cure. He's like, I know what you're gonna do. Take these pills, but he's been loading them with gamma this entire time.
I probably checked that before I ate the pills for the past 15 years.
To be honest, yeah. But when Sam had the scans, when he went in the lair, found the brain scans, and he was like, Ross, what the fuck is this about? And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. It doesn't mean anything. I thought this, like, him becoming Red Hulk was actually part of Ross's plan or something.
Right.
Or not plan. Maybe it was like something he understood was a side effect. Like, if I want to be alive, he's got to turn me into a Hulk because they've got a great healing factor or some shit. Yeah. But it turns out he doesn't know. He has no idea.
He was just as surprised as we all were.
Yeah, he looks at the reflection and he's like, oh my God, I'm a Hulk. And, if this was set a few years ago, he'd probably want to kill himself. He'd probably be fucking livid.
Those were two scenes in which were just hilarious to me in the cinema. Is one, Harrison Ford looked like he was going to take the most massive dump on that on that ship. He was
fighting for his life.
He was sweating.
Like, the door's locked, you can't get in, and you're just holding it. You're like, he's squeezing the bars. Yeah, his eyes going red, and you see his ankles like get bigger and like tightening the trousers and everything.
There's a real body horror situation.
This guy's about to fucking lose it.
And then there was also the scene where Stearns' plan failed. What reason? I don't remember what happened.
He's on the call with Ross this entire time. He's like goading him into transforming.
That was it.
He's like telling get angry, let your anger out, just so you can turn into Red Hulk. And then the lady walks in and goes like, Sam stopped the thing. Like they're all coming down. So like the treaty can go ahead. Ross calms down, and then Stearns overhears this, and he's like livid. His plans are ruined. And he starts. The camera's behind him. He's a silhouette, and he just starts like vibrating violently. And it's him
Dude,
like
the biggest
being,
load.
yeah. It is just him like being angry, and he's about to yell. He's like, "Rah!" But up until that point, we're just laughing because it looks like he just came violently. He just busted. Ooh, just gamma nuts, bro. Like, funny
His
thing.
green gamma nuts. It's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, also, I forgot. The leader looks like shit in this movie, by the way.
Yeah, no, he doesn't.
He doesn't look like the leader at all.
No, not at all.
It's just Samuel Stearns with like. He's green. One of his eyes is like clear. The other one's glowing green, and he's gross looking. His head looks like it's like bulbous, like not bulbous even. It's like his brain's like coming through his skin, kind of.
It reminded me of. Do you remember the episode of Gravity Falls? And there's the Society of the Blind Eye. The leader of that has like his brain is out, and he's got writing on his brain, and that's what it looks like to me. But...
let me look it up. Grateful Society of the Blind Eye. But yeah, it's like his brain is like kind of coming through his head, but like in a weird way. Instead of it just being the big head, he doesn't even have the goatee. He doesn't even have the fucking goatee.
At least give him the goatee, man. Come on.
But yeah, it's yeah, it is weird. Oh right, yeah. Okay, I see it.
It feels green, like, yeah. So like this guy, this Donnie. But what else? So after credits, what do you think that means?
So yeah, it seems to be tying into what Doctor Strange 2 was talking about, like, with incursions and whatnot. What with like different universes, different Earths like crashing into each other and destroying each other.
Yeah.
Or I saw someone post a theory that maybe what he means by you think you're the only heroes in the only world. You think you're the only world.
I'm thinking it's Fantastic Four, right?
That's a good point.
And then the others is Doctor Doom.
Yeah, see, the theory I saw was that the reason why Robert Downey Jr. is Doctor Doom is because he's part of an evil Avengers, where it's all the old actors playing different villains.
Right, like Captain Hydra, Doctor Doom. Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, something like that. And then, and like Mark Ruffalo is like the what's it called? What's that version of Hulk?
Abomination.
Maestro. Oh, I was
Alright,
gonna say Maestro Hulk. But yeah, things like that. They're all like villains, and they're like a villain team, and they come in, and that's what they are. They're the other heroes of another world or whatever. But they're coming here to save their own, because one of these two Earths are going to crash and kill each other. You got to destroy the other one to save your own, which is a big plot point in the Secret Wars, in the second Secret Wars in the comics.
Yeah.
Which is what this Secret Wars we're about to get seems to be about. More so than the Battle World, first Secret World, where the Secret Wars, where they're just like
it's kind of just nothing.
They just fight.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
Kind of, yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, so I feel like that's what he's saying. I kind of call BS on the whole like I see it in the probabilities thing, because like
he ain't seeing shit, man.
Because like he's just smart and he just calculates how likely something is to happen. But then like how the fuck are you meant to know how likely it is that multiversal shit is happening? Like how do you figure that out? I don't know. You just gotta buy it somehow.
Yeah. Maybe because of all the multiversal visitors our Earth has been getting. Maybe there's a way to figure it out. Maybe our Earth is on a more of a being broadcasted. I don't know, man. I don't fucking know.
Who knows? Yeah, I'm not the leader, bro. I don't know. I'm not the thinker. But yeah. What's it called? Red Hulk. So yeah. Well, I was saying earlier about how Sam's the only one who could beat Red Hulk the way he did. I mean, to be fair, he didn't beat him physically, but what he did do physically, no other Captain America can do.
That's true.
Has his wings charging up with the shockwave thingy, and he's just letting Red Hulk hit them over and over. They are literally like they look like they're about to explode because of how much force they're being hit with. They're like tingling, bro. And then he finally stabs one in the Red Hulk and lets it explode at the same time, which makes a big explosion, which again no other Captain America can do. They just don't have those tools.
Yeah,
Sam, I mean, Steve and Bucky are not strong enough to fight the Red Hulk hand to hand. You know, yeah, maybe
definitely not.
they can hold his
Vibranium
hand.
arm all you want, but
Yeah, exactly, man.
he's
Like,
not gonna hold him back.
yeah, like you can hold Thanos' hand back a bit, but then Thanos one shot him. You know, like
Yeah,
that's what would happen here with Red Hulk. Um, so Sam has to fight for his life, bro. He's like every other second, he looks like he's about to get ripped in half. He has to keep
yeah.
evading in a way.
And I
With
forget, Sam has
abilities.
fought big hulking characters before in the battle, the Endgame battle.
Yeah, he fought like
The
uh, the
what's the
big
big guy called
Chitari
again?
fuckers and shit, like Cull Obsidian and
Yeah,
whatnot.
he like stabs his wings into the back, and those weren't even vibranium. So you
Yeah,
could
those are
argue like he knows how to deal with that because of the aliens he's fought in the past.
exactly. So yeah, um, it
So
is
I
just
like that
like
a lot.
this film really shows like we always wondering like how the hell Sam Wilson gonna fight off Red Hulk. He's like, well,
That's
he did a
how.
pretty good job, I'd say.
And
Actually,
also he had the sass, like and he's like Bucky's full of shit. Should think
yeah,
about fucking serum. I like that a lot.
yeah,
It's
I
like,
love
oh
it.
well, okay. Also, the scene. A lot of this movie is just like just black people clowning on each other. Like I swear, there's a
It's just
scene
people
in the
having
limo.
fun, bro.
Yeah, there's a scene in the limo. Him, Joaquin, and Isaiah Bradley. They're just having the best fucking time. There's like
You've just been
we're
invited to the
suited
White
up.
House.
Yeah.
Yep. Like we're wearing nice suits. Yep. We're
Yeah.
drinking nice champagne. Yep.
Yeah.
Just having a good time.
So I
Oh man.
actually really enjoyed that. It was like it was funny in parts and in serious when it needed to be.
Yeah,
Um,
this film balanced that really well because you got
yeah,
the comic relief in Joaquin Falcon,
yeah,
but like they didn't overdo it with him. And plus, they even took him out of the film at one point. I forgot to
yeah,
say he gets violently injured
yeah,
because like a missile's flying at them, and they've been like trying to like take these out. They got like little blaster thingies on their wrists, and he shoots it, but he's way too close to it. By the time he finally fires it, the
yeah.
thing explodes right in his face, essentially.
He gets off better than Sam did after fighting the Red Hulk, and I find that quite funny.
Yeah, and he gets blasted into the water. They pick him
Yeah,
up, and he's out of commission for the rest of the movie.
there was a
And
few power scaling problems I had with Sam because, like, in the start of the movie, he fights those guys, and I'm pretty sure he just picks up a cinder block like it's nothing. Um,
and
and
he
like,
throws it across the guy's head, and it just breaks
yeah,
like
that's
nothing. For God's sake.
crazy. And there's also a scene where Red Hulk swings a flag, an American flag. Who, by the way, was aura farming the hell out of all of his scenes.
Oh yeah, Red Hulk was
going
just out there. He's
crazy.
just like he's posing all the time.
Yeah, posing
He
in
destroyed
fire.
the White House.
Yeah.
He blew the fuck up the White House.
Also, we
And then he
mentioned
stands in the rubble and the
the
smoke and the
fucking
flames and just roars. It was the coldest thing I've ever seen.
the
And then
thunderclap as well. He
Yeah.
mastered first try after
First
She-Hulk
try
figured out
thunderclap.
that's difficult to do.
Yeah. He leaps off the White House, destroying the building underneath him when he jumps off
Sick.
of it, and leaped like the longest fucking leap ever seen by a Hulk.
Yeah.
And all the way to the fucking Washington Monument, or whatever,
Yeah.
and like grabs it by the side, breaking parts of it off again there as well. These guys is on a
That's like
rampage.
the second time the Washington Monument's been destroyed because of superhero
Yeah.
activities.
God
Thank
damn
you, Spider-Man.
but yeah.
There's a scene where the Red Hulk swings the fucking American flag, and Captain America, he's using the jet to like push it back, but he's really holding it back.
Yeah, like
Because Sam's
he
using
flies
his
in,
arms as well.
catches it. That should shatter your hands. Like
Yeah.
doesn't matter how much force you've got behind you with your wing thrusters thingy.
If
That
this was
wouldn't be
Invincible,
enough.
he would be paced.
He'd be dead as fuck, bro.
Yeah, he'd be
Uh,
dead.
So like at this point, you might as well give him the serum if you're gonna treat
Yeah.
him like he does, then
Yeah.
just give him the serum. But I don't know. There's some things like that happened. But yeah, other than that, yeah,
Overall, genuinely great movie. Sam's
Great
mates
movie.
with everyone. MCU still got it. Maybe we should do a video on that after. But that's
Yeah.
all my notes. I really have.
Giancarlo Esposito wasted.
Yeah. That's
He comes back in the
good
middle of the
thing.
movie. He like catches Sam completely off guard, and like tries to kill him, and he still fails. Like
yeah, come on, man.
Sam's like just driving, and then all of a sudden, boom, 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 He's getting shot at.
That made me
and
jump in the cinema.
He avoids all the bullets, and then he throws a little bomb in it, and then the car blows up, and he's like, "Haha, target eliminated." Waiting for what's called proof of death, and then Sam just like, "Nope, I'm fine," and wrecks his face, and then oh my god, he wrecks his face. He like yeets, like kicks him in the rib, sends him flying.
That old man.
God. Yeah, it was crazy. And but, like the guy is like being led, like sent there by the leader, who's given him the probabilities. Like, oh yeah, he told me if you survived the car explosion, there's a 37% chance that you would try to talk me down or whatever. But it's like, couldn't he give you a better plan with like 100% chance that Sam would die then? Because you know, I still don't know how that one didn't work. To be honest, like did Sam?
If you could see multiversal crap come in, you can't even tell to kill this guy.
I think so.
But yeah. So we're at an hour and 20, so I think we should get a move on with Spider-Man and Invincible.
It's definitely gonna get a 2-hour episode now.
Yeah.
Invincible first. There's one episode. Let's try and get through it fast.
Yeah. Episode 1. So episode 1 is called. I actually don't know. Is it a dance with the devil? The duel with the devil?
Huh?
Episode 1 of. Oh wait! Sorry.
Invincible.
Invincible. Never mind. Okay, we'll cut this out.
Go.
Invincible season 3. The episode. It came out. And we watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Okay, we're gonna review it. Spoilers for Invincible. Episode 4. Are we on episode 4 now?
Yeah.
Sure. How did you find it?
I really liked it.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool that those guys from the future who stole the Declaration of Independence, they come back into this story.
They actually are relevant.
They are actually important characters. They are from a future where there's a king who's just gone mad and he's just like murking everyone. And they need Mark to come in and help them because he's the only one strong enough to stop him.
It's weird that they didn't think of that plan. Like, their first leap was to steal the fucking
Declaration.
And not to get Mark.
Because apparently the ink of the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, well, it didn't work.
Poison. Yeah, well, they thought it would work.
It didn't. Did they? You know what did work? Punching.
Yeah, you're right.
Punches worked.
But yeah, and the Future King story mirrors Omni-Man's plan a lot. It's like, at first it sounds like it could be...
thought that it was gonna be Omni-Man or Mark.
Because he's talking about like, the king and his mind was better back then. He was a good guy, but then one day he just switched and he's like just policing us and like now we're like putting us in prisons and shit. It's like, this is exactly what that alternate future we saw where Mark and Omni-Man team up looked like. Yeah. But then it turns out, Mark says, "Is he a Viltrumite?" They're like, "The fuck is that?" And he's like, "Okay, all right, cool. I'll help you guys." And he jumps in, and it's Immortal. And we see that it turns out Mark ditched for some reason, and he's like, "Immortal, you're in charge now. You can handle this." And he's like, "Oh, but I can't." And he's like, "Yeah, you can. And
he lived. He could not handle it.
He's lived too long. His mind is gone.
I really love the scene where he's like, Mark's like, you just got married, you just got engaged to Kate, and then Immortal's like, is that the redheaded one you're with?
He's like, no, that's Eve. That's my girlfriend.
No, that's my girlfriend.
I've been with so many women, bro. Why do you think I remember that one? Oh, come on,
crazy
man.
bar.
Yeah, this guy does not care. Like, there are mere moments in his life.
Yeah,
he's lived way too long.
That will do it. That's something that's not explored enough in these types of characters.
With immortality and whatnot.
Superman will not die.
Yeah.
He'll get really old. It's crazy.
He's really fucking bored as well, man. And you're going to go mad eventually.
Yeah.
And it seems like Viltrumites don't do that. They keep their sanity, whatever, but Immortal doesn't.
He really didn't.
I don't remember. Was he born like that, or was he a science experiment?
I think he was born like that.
Yeah. He's back from way too long ago for it to be an experiment anyway, I think. Because he's been around for ages.
So I liked the first half of the episode. I think that, you know what, Mark should just stop feeling bad
Bro, but
about
I wrote that
killing.
Mark is a whiny baby when it comes to killing people, bro. Like, oh my
I
days.
really do understand because Mark has been going through some crazy shit. And like as soon as my dad used my body to murder people, you know, I could understand how you don't want to take another life. But also, at this point, you might as well just kill him because like he's really trying to get Mark to kill him. He's begging for it. At that point, it is just fair game, you know.
Yeah, give me the sweet release of death, and it's immortal. You know, you can just put it.
And you
He like
don't
rips his
really
head
like
off.
him anyway. Yeah,
Well,
and he
that as
does
well.
it so easily.
Yeah, but also the main thing is like he can come back. Like he's not actually dying. If it
Oh
makes
my
you
god,
feel
yeah,
better, you rip his
exactly.
head off, you put it back on, he's back to life. So there
Yeah.
you go. Stop feeling so guilty about it. It's the immortal man. You'll be fine. Um,
It's his name. I do
it's
like the
simple, bro.
line that I do like that Mark is trying to be a better human and they're like, you know, he killed so many people and then Mark says, yeah, but he saved a lot also. And I think that's interesting.
Yeah,
Um,
but it is interesting. But at the same time, it's like Mark, no, man. It's it's
Sometimes
not worth
you
it.
just got to do what you got to do.
It doesn't matter how many
Um,
he's like.
like he even asks if the robots are sentient, which makes me believe he wouldn't have killed those robots if you know they had feelings,
Yeah,
which is crazy. This is a big weakness for Mark, because like
yeah,
even Superman will kill if he has to. You know, he'll snap a
yeah.
guy's
He
neck.
doesn't
Doesn't
like
matter.
doing it, but you know, if it's like mindless creatures or whatever, he'll just do it. You
Yeah,
know.
he'll do it. He'll kill a guy. I do like the aspect of Superman, which is like you know this could be someone's pet. Someone probably cares for him. I think this is the version we're gonna get, the James Gunn
Yeah,
illustration, but I don't know. It's a different conversation.
yeah.
But yeah, Invincible first half really interesting. It gets a lot more interesting. Oh well, actually, side note: Mark and Eve actually have a date, and they drop another banger while that's playing.
Yeah,
That's
and
quite
they fuck
nice,
as well.
dude. They they're really going at it.
The narrator came back in, which is so like
It's
there's
so
a narrator
funny.
on the show
Anytime
that
Mark
is
is
so
getting
rare.
laid.
It's every time Mark's about to have sex, this guy's like, "Okay, let's go somewhere else right now." And it's like he never gets involved in any other
Yeah,
part of the
man.
story
There'd
except
be
that.
no narrators in my life, bro. we'll, we'll fix that in post. So then it goes to Alan, the alien, and
Alan
Omni
the
Man
alien.
story. I like that Omni Man's finally getting some stuff to do. He's been quite sidelined so far.
Yeah, he was only in the first episode. Yeah, we haven't seen him since then again.
Yeah.
Um,
He misses his wife.
yeah,
So Alan has hope. The Viltrumites are coming to kill, execute Omni Man. We actually get a really nice surprise appearance of Battle Beast. I should stop watching the episode recaps at the start because I think that's something I would have liked to see.
like they remind you Battle Beast exists. Like, oh, I
Exists,
wonder
yeah.
why
I
that's
would have
happening.
remembered, yeah. So that was quite cool. He shows up. Alan breaks out. Alan, they all do really well. Battle Beast is really wants to get his hands on some fucking Viltrumites. He's
Yeah,
begging for it as well. Um, and then there's just a big old punch up in space, and
yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Alan is fucking strong now. I like it so
Yeah,
much. He
yeah.
deserves this, man.
He really
Um,
does. If anyone does, it's Alan.
but yeah, and then we get the big bombshell reveal at the end of the episode.
Uh-huh.
There are only 50 Viltrumites in the universe.
And
Um,
that is really interesting. You
that
know
is
what?
their biggest
No
weakness. Is
wonder
that they
Omni Man
pretend
fucked
to
so
be a
many
bigger army.
people.
Hmm?
No wonder Omni Man fucked so many people, bro. The
Exactly.
species are dying out.
Exactly. And yeah, it's like,
So where
damn,
do you
they
think
don't
that
have to
this
fight
is
that
gonna
many.
go?
Yeah, so I
Do you
mean,
think that they're gonna head back to Earth, go back to Optimus Prime? Is Mark and Omni Man gonna have a reunion this season? Do you see that happening?
this season, yes, for sure.
Right. Okay.
But I feel like it's not gonna be to the end. I think this whole season
Damn.
is gonna keep them apart.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna reunite at the very end, and we're gonna see Mark's in his blue suit now, and this is meant to be his like darker side or whatever.
Yeah.
Eventually, apparently. So it's gonna be interesting to see that whilst Omni Man is on this path of redemption, he's gonna come back
I like
better than
that a
ever.
lot. Yeah.
Mark is on his way down, and they're going to meet up now on different sides, or not completely different sides, but different to how they last saw each other.
Yeah.
And they're not going to be able to believe what they're seeing. How's
Mhm.
Omni-Man going to react to now his son being a bit more like what he wanted, but now he's over that kind of stuff? Meanwhile,
Oh, that's
Mark,
pretty exciting.
is Mark
I
going to
don't know.
believe that Omni-Man has changed? Of course not. He's not going to believe that.
Yeah, because he was
Especially if
pissed
Mark
in
has done
season 2.
if Mark's done any self-reflection on himself by the end, and he's noticed his own path, then and obviously he's seen Oliver as well.
Yeah,
He's
that's a
gonna
big
find it
aspect.
impossible to believe that his own dad can change, because he's like, well, clearly it's in our nature. Look at my brother, and look what I'm becoming. This is assuming Mark becomes as bad as what I'm imagining. I don't know how dark this dark side of his goes. I just know that it's essentially his black suit era. I don't know how far he goes with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. I'm really excited.
I'm looking forward. Invincible, it never misses. It's so good.
Yeah.
Again, wish the animation was a bit better, but it doesn't matter. I'm not one of those people who are like, So yeah, good stuff. I rate Invincible. Alan.
I rate Alan the Alien out of 10.
Yeah.
Cool.
Spider-Man.
Next.
Spider-Man. Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, we didn't rate Captain America. I rate
No.
it a Shield popcorn bucket out of 10.
Yeah. One shield popcorn bucket. So good. So your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I think the first episode was called like Dance or Duel or something with the devil. I rewatched these twice. I rewatched it once just to watch it. Second to actually write notes.
Cool.
So for first, do you have any notes on this as well?
Yes. So
Okay. Yeah, you go.
I'm glad
first,
because I'm glad I did, because I haven't watched these since they came out.
Yeah, me
and
too.
I've kind of
Forgot
forgotten
a lot of this shit. Yeah.
notes will remind me what we got. So let me see. I cannot seem to read my own handwriting. Peter and Nico, they one thing I didn't like. I'm gonna read it quickly. Just things I didn't like. Peter, they're making some kind of shitty joke together, like some super nerdy loser joke, and I just wrote
Peter
down
plus
"fuck off, nerd."
Nico equals
Yeah, that's what it was.
a really good fun time.
Yeah, it was that. Actually, that's why I wrote that. I wrote Peter plus Nico algebra, and I just couldn't understand why I wrote
Peter
that. Now
plus
you remind me.
Nico equals cringe.
Yeah, but I just wrote down "fuck off, nerds." Like, I just hate it. It was my least favorite aspect of the 2017 Spider-Man show.
Yeah.
It's just like, how do you show they're a nerd? Well, they make jokes about quadratic formulas and shit. Like, no,
great power equals with great responsibility.
Fuck off. But I do like we saw more Uncle Ben stuff. They got the VCR, and it's Ben's VCR. Like, I love all these things that we just hold over, like our Ben stuff. We're seeing more about Aunt May. I like that she's like the cool aunt, which is very MCU, and it's also just different from the regular Warrior War Aunt May.
Yeah.
I don't mind that we're getting this kind of version, since it is on brand for the MCU version anyway. And I'm like that they're leaning all the way in with it. Like, yeah, she's a cool aunt that lets you watch the cool movies that, like, she pretends you don't watch, so she can pretend to be a good mum. But yeah, they actually mentioned Peter's parents as well, which is interesting. When does that happen? Fucking never.
That's something I got written down,
especially after Chasm. But yeah, what did I write here? Lagos was mentioned. The Civil War.
Yeah.
Lagos explosion was mentioned.
From Scarlet Witch, so that's quite interesting.
Yeah, and we see General Ross, but he doesn't look like William Hurt or like
Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford. He doesn't look like either. He just looks like a regular.
Just some guy, some old white guy.
General Ross.
With a
mustache.
Yeah.
What else have we got here? Oh, Daredevil!
Yeah.
Daredevil was in this episode, and they played his theme song.
Yeah.
And the action was actually really cool. I think the animation was pretty good there.
Yeah, no, I thought it looked great. We're never seeing that fucking logo though.
Yeah, not even this Daredevil gets it, and he's animated, right? Come on. But I guess this is early in his career if it's following the MCU thing, because
if it's 2016.
This is around the time where he was wearing the black outfit in the real show as well. This is obviously a different black outfit, but it's similar, and they both have no logo. But yeah,
But he
it's pretty
managed to
cool to
pull
see
off a
Charlie
lot of Daredevil stuff, and hints towards who he is because he's like, "Oh man, this stuff's sticky," and then he's
Yeah,
like, "Yeah, isn't that obvious?" And he's like, "Oh, not really." I like
yeah,
that he's awfully calm about this whole interaction, and he has enough time to give Peter a lovely speech about right and wrong, very Daredevil like mid
classic
fight.
Daredevil.
And he's
Um,
just Charlie Cox is just using that calm voice, and he really fucking knocks the shit out of Peter.
yeah, and he sounds a bit different in this show as well to his like live action appearances. So it is like a
It's
different.
because he's not out of breath. Because like every
Well,
time Charlie Cox is actually like, you know,
Foggy, I can't do it. Oh, Foggy,
I'm stabbed.
religion,
Yeah,
Christianity. What can I do? Like that's all his lines now.
yeah.
But yeah, no, in here it's like a different interpretation. It's slightly different
It's kind of
personality.
more She-Hulk like, to be fair.
Yeah, it is more like that, more
He's
lighthearted.
laid back, yeah. And also, it's like, look, I know you're trying to do the right thing, kid, but Jesus, Norman is wrong. I like that he plants the seed that Norman Osborn is not who he thinks. Who
Yeah,
so
it's
far
not
Peter has no reason to distrust.
exactly planting the little seeds of doubt.
Yeah.
And I noticed when Norman was showing Ross his like fake little like file on Spider-Man to like get him off the scent or whatever. Spider-Man had no hyphen, and that's annoying. But
Worst
also,
show ever.
um, I like that we see like again, even with this like near perfect scenario he's got right now, where he's got Osborn funding him
Backing him,
and
yeah.
everything. He
he's got
still doesn't get
friends.
no fun. He still has to abandon his friends to go do shit,
Yep.
even shit that isn't real crimes. It's just like, hey, someone is messing with my business. Go fix that. It's like, what?
Oh,
Come on, man.
fine.
You told me I had the day off. You deal with it. Get your security guys on it. Like,
Yeah.
no, Spider-Man, you go. Like, oh, fine. And then lastly, I have written down is, okay, too many people know now. And yeah, Nico finds out Peter Parker's Spider-Man because Harry
Okay.
blabs because he thought she would have known by now, which I guess is like fair enough, fair game. But now we are at a point where 3 other characters know who Peter is. And I think it's too many too soon.
Yeah. Okay, so for me, I've got Lonnie is lost, sad face. He's too far gone now. He's not coming back. um,
Oh, man.
I've also got that Lonnie's theme is fucking awesome. His Tombstone theme is sick, man.
I didn't pick up on it. What's the...
It's kind of like a. No, I'm not gonna do it on this podcast. But you should. But you should. You almost got me, but it's kind of. It sounds the way you think a Tombstone theme would sound. Just go back and listen to it. But it's awesome.
Okay, cool.
It starts playing in the scene where like he's having an argument with Pearl, and it's playing in the background, and he's saying, "You know what? I'm fucking glad that like I don't have to live up to the expectations that everyone's put on me." And then it starts to like slowly rise. It's so good. I love music.
Fuck you, I'm the Tombstone.
Yeah. And then I've got so Nico mentions that Harry Osborn has just released like this new like water brand. It's just water but new expensive. I think that's a dig to Jaden Smith's water company. I've also got Aunt May. Oh, definitely getting banged, bro. Like, she leaves the apartment and she's like, "You guys stay late. Don't wait up for me." And then
Oh
she
my
leaves.
God.
She's getting fucked. Hey Nico, you've got no fucking family. This is how Peter's attempt to try and bring them all together. He's like, because Harry's like, "Oh, you know, my mom's not here, so you know, my mom's not around either." Hey, Nico, he lives in a foster home. So we've all got that in common. That's crazy. Can't lie.
That was so fun.
What else I got here? Yeah, we ain't never seen the logo. Daredevil's the GOAT, and they play his Netflix theme. Peter's identity is the worst kept secret.
Yeah.
Especially if they're gonna follow the MCU route. Aunt May's gonna find out too soon, probably. So I really dislike that fact.
I think like individually, all these things make sense. Like number one, yeah, no duh, Norman found out when Peter's getting changed in his fucking building.
Yeah.
Then number two, yeah, I'm not surprised Harry found out when he's the son of Norman and he's going to be in that building a lot. Eventually, he's going to catch something like that. But I think that was too soon. And then number three, Harry telling Nico because he thought she would know because she's his best friend. That made sense. That was funny. But now, again, it's just too many too soon. I think Harry finding out now, like, Harry should have found out way later. And then Harry reveals it to Nico after. That's fine. But I think right now it's just way too many people know.
Yeah, not a big fan. Then afterwards, this is barely even a note, but when Norman Osborn is talking about Otto Octavius, a song plays, and it sounds like the Michael Giacchino track "Riddles, Riddles Everywhere." It's eerily similar. So yeah. Anyway, that's kind of like the Riddler theme in the yeah.
Michael Giacchino also did the Spider-Man soundtrack, but I don't think he's on this show.
No, I don't think so. I didn't check, but I thought, damn, that sounds exactly the same. Nico is saying how Peter and Nico have each other's backs since day one, and day one was not that long ago.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of hard to understand how long has it been.
Yeah.
Because now it's a lot of at least with Nico and Peter's thing, it's a lot of tell and not showing. That's probably because they don't have a lot of time on screen to hang out because it's always Peter off doing Spider-Man stuff. So I can understand the whole Nico feeling abandoned thing, but I don't yet see how they've become such close friends that she feels the abandonment that heavy. Because we haven't seen him hang out that much yet. Because it's always been he's been missing. He's always been gone and fuck off.
So just relax a little bit, or just make more friends, Nico.
Yeah, that's nice. But also, this is high school as well. You know, when you're the outsider, you're fucked. You got that one friend.
She's putting herself in that situation, you know, because like Pearl's pretty chill with her. Like I don't know, she went to a high school party, just talk to some people. And then the last thing I've got is the Scorpion. I don't really like this version. It's more of a I like the idea where just Jameson pushes the Scorpion idea to combat Spider-Man. Whereas this is kind of a tough war situation, which, you know, it's just different. For episode 2, well, not episode 2, but like the next episode, I don't know what it's called. How did you find that one?
Let me see what I write down here. This one I liked a lot more than the previous one, and I like, so we got mentions of tritium and solar power as like little Easter eggs about how Otto has all his powers. Oh, has he got tritium? Nah, too rare. Solar power? I don't think he's got the power of the sun. You know?
Scorpion rising.
I like all these little like cool like little references and jokes.
Yeah, I've got that. That's my first note down on mine. Tritium and the power of the sun. Spider-Man 2 reference. Nice.
And then I did unfortunately notice when Norman was describing Otto and how he's someone who feels like the world is owed him something and everything and his genius and yada yada. I noticed this would be a really good parallel of Peter Parker if Peter in this show was faithful to Ditko's Peter Parker. But currently they are not similar in any way. Whereas, again, this Otto and the classic Peter sound like very similar characters. It'd be a good thing to
imagine.
Parallels, you know. But yeah, I liked it that we see Peter and Norman have a lot more smart time together. Like they're showing off their brains, working together, figuring things out. And I love that. It actually got payoff within this episode. But I wrote down foreshadow Otto fusing to his arms with the gamma energy.
Yeah.
But then it was actually paid off with Scorpion fusing to his suit here, which is something I always forget is actually a trait of his as well. It's just a lot of characters
he is stuck in there.
Get fused to their suits. Otto, Scorpion, and Rhino. You know, Scorpion he falls in the cracks. I forget about him. But yeah, Big Don is nice during this episode to Tombstone.
Because now he is so bad.
Yeah, he is. But you know, Clev with the phone was back in this one. He was direct. The first episode that I pointed out, and I was like, I'm pretty sure it's him. Now I know it's him because he's here and he's speaking and everything.
Clev, do a flip.
Yeah, like we see Nico when she's driving with Harry, like they're trying to bond, whatever. Her amulet works.
Yeah.
So she's already got powers, but like she doesn't know about it yet. It seems. So it's like something that's gonna happen a lot sooner than I thought it was. Nico getting powers and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think Scorpion's design is serviceable. It fits the new origin we got, which is it's just something Otto gave him, as opposed to
Some
he's
crap that Otto gave him to get money.
Well, I saw someone say that maybe the reason why he already has this exoskeleton with a big tail is maybe it's just like, hey, I've got these like tentacles thingies. Like I'm working with this octopus idea. Like no, 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 no. See, I got a scorpion tattoo. I want a scorpion. Give me one of those. I don't want all 8 legs. I want the one leg for a tail. It's like,
okay.
Scorpions have like 6 or 8 legs too. Like no, 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 no. I just want the tail. It's like okay, cool. And it like extends and retracts the same way Otto's legs always do as well.
It reminds me of the
technology.
PS4 game as well, how Otto designs all the suits for the supervillains.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's on brand.
Yeah, so and then we see also Scorpion's gonna get a full costume like with a mask and everything, according to the opening. Because like, he's a silhouette and you only see his eyes in color, but you can just barely make out, I'm pretty sure anyway, that he's wearing some kind of mask. So his suit's gonna get an upgrade, or at least like finished off, to get his like full title as a Scorpion.
Yeah.
And then I wrote Peter has to fight solo as like a positive, when like Norman couldn't reach the phone anymore or anything because
he put that did not go well.
And then immediately right next to it loses. I actually liked it afterwards. It was like Peter got the Mark treatment. This guy got fucking wrecked.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I cannot believe that they went that far. As soon as they killed
they showed blood in the show. Like
I was really surprised by that.
In fact, I forgot to mention Scorpion, like taking down everyone. Actually, that's in the next episode, so I'll leave that. Okay. But actually, in this episode, Scorpion like taking down all the guys with his tentacle. That was all pretty gruesome stuff as well. Like we see someone get stabbed and hung up.
Yeah, that's when I knew she was gonna go down. For me, I don't have many notes. Just the Trillium thing. The show loves lo-fi, and are Harry and Nico gonna fuck? So, Norman talks to Peter and says, "Oh, should we get Harry on board?" And then Norman says Harry's on a different mission or whatever, and then Harry is then shown to be outside Nico's house. So I'm starting to think that Harry's gone over to defuse Nico, but then it seems like there's like tension there, or it's a bit awkward, and it almost look like they're gonna kiss. So I'm not too sure where their relationship's gonna go with that. Do they ever have any screen time together in the comics? Do you know?
Not as far as I know. They're pretty separate characters.
Okay.
Because Nico even being in this show was a surprise in the first place.
Yeah.
Because the Runaways are like kids, whilst Peter's an adult, whereas here they're both kids here.
That's true.
So yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, they do seem to be building something between them. It's reminding me of like a Ron and Hermione situation. Like at the beginning, they like each other, and very, very slowly they start to like each other.
Yeah, that's quite cool actually. Oh, let's do a Harry Potter episode.
Yeah. But yeah, then also this episode ends with the Goblin glider. Saving Peter. So we're getting Goblin a lot sooner than we thought.
Yeah.
When as soon as Norman walked away and like Peter's getting killed, he's like, Norman, please
fighting for his life.
And I was thinking, yo, he's gonna come in with the glider or something. But then I thought either it's gonna be in the Green Goblin suit, like a prototype version that's not evil looking yet, or take an element from the new comics, come in as the Golden Glider, which is an alias that he's now, because like something in the comics recently happened where like Norman has all the evil purged from him or some shit,
as you do.
He's now like a good guy, and he becomes a superhero called the Golden Glider. So he's still on a glider and everything, but his suit's like white and gold, just looks like a goblin at all. And yeah, he's just a good guy. I was thinking maybe that they're gonna do the opposite here, where instead of that being his redemption thing, this is his hero persona. Yeah, and then he becomes a villain and becomes a Green Goblin. Kind of similar to how in the Ultimate Spider-Man show, I'm pretty sure I remember he starts out as the Iron Patriot and then he becomes a Green Goblin after. I think that's the order they do it in that show. But yeah, but then maybe we didn't want to copy that. So yeah, here's just the glider. It exists, but it has no designated purpose. That we
We'll
know of.
see
So
soon enough.
soon enough, yeah.
And then the last thing I've got is so Scorpion comes in, and there's like gas everywhere, or whatever, smoke, and they are all just fucking firing at this guy. Yeah, they're emptying the clip into this brother, and then Scorpion just walks out of the smoke, and I was expecting him to be fully armored. This guy wasn't at all. I think he's just wearing shorts and a tee under there.
Yeah, he's just wearing the same outfit he was wearing before. Like
So did they all just miss, or like he's not even wearing a helmet? Like,
they just only hit the torso. The
so this
shiny
is
green.
like the worst. Yeah, I don't know. I felt like that just had to be brought up. And yeah, Spider-Man loses. Crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah,
believe.
his suit was all ripped up and everything. It
Yeah,
looked sick, like classic Raimi Spider-Man
I
type
love
action.
that. Yeah.
But yeah. So
And
then the
then
next episode.
Tangled. Where I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of like sleeping like in and out on my second rewatch of this episode. So I didn't actually write any notes. So you could take the lead.
Okay, so I've written down Iron Man shows up.
Iron
Which is
Man
pretty
does show
cool.
up. Oh,
Yeah,
Doc Ock is he's so far gone. He's not gonna be any type of redeemable character in this
yeah, no, this
universe.
guy's just a dickhead.
He's just having a really
But
good time.
when they're coming in to like bust up his whole situation, and his arms go all over the place, it's the same choreography from Spider-Man 2 in the hospital scene.
Right.
It looks sick. It's so cool. Like so many shots are like recreated, and a lot of angles and
Someone
whatever.
gets dragged away the same way. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember now. Yeah. Okay.
All of that
Doesn't
is
happen.
really cool. Aunt May had a really nice speech, apparently, according to my notes. I didn't elaborate.
Oh,
any-
okay.
I
Right.
just wrote
This
Aunt
is
May's
when he's
speech.
like, "Oh, I suck," and then she's like, "You know, your uncle did die.
What the fuck?
Yeah, you know, you've overcome a lot." I'm pretty sure that's what. I'm pretty sure that's what.
I'm pretty sure
that's,
saying that he'd be
that's
proud
happened.
of you and the man you want today or some shit like that.
Yeah, you know, you're the hero.
Probably something more like Aunt May.
There was a fucking awesome. It's probably in your notes. With great power.
Comes great respect.
Yeah.
Yo, that was amazing. That whole thing with Norman, I love that. Because like at first, I actually thought he was gonna say responsibility. I was
I
gonna
was
lose my
going
shit.
to lose my fucking mind, and then they said respect, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
they've
Sure.
done it.
The
But
different
also,
mind.
what was that?
Yeah. The different mind. No, I said the different mindset he's got
Yeah.
versus what Uncle
Well-
Ben had instilled in Peter.
Harry says with great power comes enemies. I think he said in the last episode. So it's funny how all these people have different interpretations of what great power comes with.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really good. That's really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, when we see Chameleon is in this.
Yeah,
and
that's another
right.
one.
The Dimitri guy who looks kind of like the Dimitri from the MCU from a few episodes ago.
Felt so smart.
He is indeed the chameleon in this show as well.
Yeah.
Although right now it's not a shapeshifting thing. It's just my face is too much. People know me too good now. Now I need to hide. It's like okay, so eventually that's going to transition
Just
to the
like a
idea.
chameleon.
Yeah, but I wonder how that's going to happen because like in the comics, it's like he has that mask because he's got chameleon tech. Actually, originally it was like he's wearing masks on top of that mask. It's like
Yeah.
a plain slate face thing. Now it's become like I don't know. In some versions he's like a mutant. In some versions it's just like a
In
mask
the
he wears on
PS4
top.
game, he's just got a lot of masks about.
Yeah, but it's like still hologram tech or whatever
Yeah.
that he uses. So yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. But here it's a helmet on his head, and then I guess he wears. It's either gonna be masked on top of that, or the helmet will act as the blank
Also,
state for a
in
hologram.
the MCU, we have that technology like already.
Yeah, exactly. We've got
Hologram
masks
faces.
and holograms.
Yeah, so
Mysterio
fuck you,
and Black
chameleon.
You're not special. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of shapeshifting he gets in this show. It's probably going to be tech based, not power based, because everything so far is tech based.
That's annoying to me because I really enjoy power based stuff. Like the Amazing Spider-Man 1 game, like with the whole cross species genetics thing.
Yeah.
Like I enjoyed that aspect of Spider-Man's like body horror, like awful villains. Like I like that a lot.
Mm.
I think this is a trend which came from like the PS4 uh, 2018 reincarnation of the characters. Same with like the MCU. They've all pretty much just been tech based.
Yeah,
So
it's
I'd
trying
like
to
to go
be
back.
realistic.
Yeah. Well, realistic. Peter is power based, you know? Like, Peter's
Well,
not tech based.
don't remind them; they might change it in the next
Yeah.
movie. But yeah, then I've got okay. So what I said last week about how
Here we
I was
go.
really glad that Norman's final
Yeah.
design he made for Peter wasn't the main design, but even if it was at least from Peter's notes, then I wouldn't have minded too much. But I do prefer that in the end, no, Peter's gonna make the suit himself. I was then wrong because in this episode, it is an
It's
Oscorp
Harry,
suit
right?
again. Now, thankfully, it is a bit closer to what I said, which is yes, it is from Peter's notebook. It's Peter's design.
Yeah. They
It's,
show it in the previous episode again.
if Peter ever remakes his suit, he will always take ownership of the fact that this is his design.
Yeah.
That he's not copying him, he's copying himself. But this suit is made from Oscorp tech, just like the white and black one, which had a lot of techie stuff in it. And when it was getting destroyed, I was thinking, now we're going to get a stripped down suit. But
Yeah.
no, we're just going to get another tech suit now. Which, again, I did write, maybe he remakes this one as well. Maybe this one will get damaged and he'll make a homemade version of this, which will look the same. But so far, we don't know.
Also, do you think that
And
Peter can build his own web shooters? Because his own, the Peter Parker Mark One, that's just him with the tubes as well. And then ever since we've got the Osborn tech with the web shooters,
that's true.
he doesn't have enough web cartridges. Because he runs out during the Scorpion fight. If he was to part ways with Norman, can he achieve his own webs?
I would have to assume now that he's seen it, that he's probably, he's worn the suit. Like he's definitely inspected the shit out of the web shooters and gone,
Yeah.
like, how did he get them so compact and small? This is so genius. He's probably now figured out himself
I
how
wonder
to
if he
do
could
it
do it
at
on his
least
own
similar.
technology. Yeah.
So yeah, he could definitely do it. Plus, every Peter Parker does it.
And
So
to be
this
fair, they
one,
were talking about it with Pearl actually. Now that I think about it, in when he goes over to Pearl's house to do the like assignment or whatever, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I had to use that to make my bracelets."
yeah.
Uh-huh.
uh,
So
and
never
so
mind.
same with the sewing kit. He was saying
Cut that
to
out.
Aunt May, he was
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, you have a sewing kit. I used it for something."
So there are breadcrumbs to him being a better hero, like his
Yeah,
own hero at least.
completely homemade.
Yeah.
But at least I do like that this one's made by Harry and not Norman, because Harry understood the assignment. He's like, yeah, it's got even more color and like Captain
And they
America, like
both
another
like
hero.
yeah.
Yeah, like and it's like from one of his friends, not from just the guy who's like funding him, whatever. Still not the ideal version, but at least this is as close. If this is as far as it gets, if this is Peter's suit for the rest of the show, then I guess it's not too bad. It's not as bad as if Norman made it and he didn't even know what Peter's design looked like. This is just from Norman's head,
You've
which
never
is what
seen
we
it in
got
his
from
life.
Stark's. So yeah, not that bad. But yeah, these 3 episodes, I like them.
Every
This show
time
is still
we come
good.
back, and after 3 episodes, I like the show more and more.
Yeah,
At first, I was really skeptical. I had issues last time, but I'm actually fine. Like, I actually have nothing negative to really say. Obviously, the animation's still what it is, but and the Nico subplot's probably my least favorite thing so far. But yeah, I really do want to see where this story goes. I think seeing Matt in the show was great, and it's planted seeds for Norman Osborn's, betrayal and the conflict there. So yeah,
yeah.
I've got really good.
I'm interested to see because now Norman's. Yeah, we've got a peek into his mind a bit more about what he
Yeah.
thinks is right and wrong, and his whole main thing is I need to take down Otto. I need to take down Otto, and he's made his glider for some mystery reason.
Yeah.
All these things like,
Because
what is
that's
his
definitely
real
not
motive?
for Peter.
Yeah, we ain't fucking flying around that shit. I mean, again, that does happen in the newest comics at one point,
Okay.
but no one likes these comics, so
Yeah.
fuck. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how far he's going to take this thing on his own before Peter needs to finally step in and stop him. What's going to be the breaking point? What makes him snap from just misguided like billionaire dude into
It does feel
the
like
Green
he's
Goblin?
being groomed. Peter's being groomed by this guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that wraps
Yeah.
it up. I think I give these episodes one Daredevil baton to the back of the fucking head. Out of 10.
Incredible.
Yeah, so good.
I will give it a Peter plus Nico equals great episode out of 10.
Classic, yeah.
Before we go, I'm going to quickly squeeze in, because I'm going to try and do this every week.
Alright,
Blind ranking time.
Let's go. You sending me something?
So this time it's going to be costumes again, just because I did this very last minute as we were setting up the call for this one. Next I'm going to try to do a different topic. But yeah, so 5 costumes, blind rank them, 1 to 5. Here's your first one. It is the Ben Affleck Daredevil leather suit.
Okay. Alright. I don't actually hate this suit. I think that this is probably, sadly, the closest we're ever going to get to a skin-tight suit. And you know what? It even has a logo. So for that, solid 3.
3. Okay, cool.
I think the cowl's a bit weird. He looks a bit sad in it. He looks a bit grumpy. But yeah, not an awful suit.
Venom from the Venom universe movies.
You see?
Movies, I don't know.
Looks like Venom. Doesn't have a logo. I hate the way that these symbiotes look in those movies, man. Just so unpleasant to touch. Where is anything coming out of? Yeah, he's just got his toes out. I mean, obviously he has his toes out, but if it had the logo, it would be a lot better. You know, I think you've got a worse one for me. I'm gonna put this one 5, bottom of the list.
This is the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't stand the way it looks, especially when like Eddie goes to the beach, and like there's the symbiote's just out. I'm just like, what if sand gets into the symbiote? Yeah.
Ugh, yeah. Okay. Well, next up, I've got Dane DeHaan's Green Goblin from Tasman.
Fuck! Alright, number 4. There's nothing good about it.
Yeah.
The design's weird. The suit itself is just an Oscorp power suit. I don't know. It's just got a whole bunch of messy design. I bet no one could accurately think about what it looks like.
You're right. Actually, like I never. It's such a. There's no like shape or form of.
There's nothing
it's like
to
just
it.
a bunch of techie nonsense.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so yeah, number 4. Right, so we've
got
1 and 2 available.
We've got Blade from Deadpool and Wolverine.
Ah, you see, he's missing the trench coat, which is my
no trench coat.
Part.
He's got sleeves. Yeah, it's a very. I didn't pick his best look.
But it's not his best look. And, you know, he's got the fucking sick ass shit skin fade.
Yeah.
I'll put it at number 2.
Okay, cool.
Praying for something good for number 1.
Number 1, Juggernaut from X-Men The Last Stand.
He's got his nipples.
Vinnie Jones with the rock helmet, with the fake abs and muscles.
Okay. Yeah.
That is your number 1. Do you feel happy about that?
Do I feel happy? I'm not gonna lie. It's better. Because I mean, if I could do it now, it would be Daredevil would be at the top, then Blade, then Venom, then Juggernaut, then Green Goblin. But I don't feel like this was an awful selection of what I had going on.
So right now you've got Juggernaut at the top.
Look, man, he can't be stopped. He can't be stopped.
You got Blade second, then Daredevil.
Well, Blade at number 2 is not
then
bad.
Green Goblin, and then Venom at the bottom.
I really dislike the way that Venom looks in the Spunk universe.
Fair enough. I really dislike the way all of these suits look, other than Blade, which is just like a generic. It looks fine. Yeah, it's whatever.
This is rough. This is rough, buddy.
I dislike the rest of it. But yeah. All right.
Well, thanks for that. How about you take us home, Leon?
Okay. So yeah, thank you everyone for listening. We'll be back next week, hopefully on
Ooh,
time.
what do we
This time.
review next week?
Next
This
week we've got probably another 3 episodes of Friendly Neighbor Spider-Man, another
Yeah.
episode of Invincible.
Let's do a topic as
and
well. Let's do an actual topic.
We should bring up something. Yeah, we should talk about. I mean, like you said, let's talk about the state of the MCU and
Okay, bet.
why everyone's shitting on it.
Yeah.
Is it deserved or not? And there we go.
Yeah, Phase 4 Marvel. Okay, sweet.
Cool.
Yeah, thanks
Thank you
for
everyone for listening.
You could follow us at Websputters on YouTube, on Spotify with Websputters, other like Apple Music, all of them, and also Instagram. I'm at web_sputters, and Leon is
pen_isn't. And yeah.
He does art, so go check that out. We got YouTube videos. We play Marvel Rivals. We do other stuff. We got to check out our shorts as well. Subscribe. If you have any actual comments to say, write into the show. We'll listen. Yeah, give us 5 stars or not if you actually have some problems. We'll get better at outros as well.
We'll write a script.
We'll write a scripted outro. Yeah. And yeah, thank you for listening, guys. We'll see you next week / this week. All right, bye. Do I stop recording?